War Axe detour after a Fury Hammer. Just build it straight up. And again, that's just confidence. When you control the center of the map, you know as a jungler instinctually, ironically enough, that you can honestly just go for a very aggressive build path and playstyle as well. Demonkind also did very good in this lineup, in this fight here, helping out Edward, and then eventually coming in alongside Edward to help Yue from James. And when you have a mid laner that is doing so well in controlling the rotations and the tempo of the game, in game number 1 it was the Vexana of Yue, game number 2 it was the Pharsa of Yue, then the jungle, gold laner, they're both very happy.
Yeah, I really like the way that you see Renegade play this high-low slow throughout the game, because a lot of times he was body blocking a lot of that, firepower from Twisted Minds. Granted, when you have this kind of a lead, throughout the game, you're able to go ahead and soak up a ton of damage, but it was just one of those cases where Twisted Minds weren't able to find the targets they were looking for.
Renegade was the anti-hitman hitman.
Anti-hitman hitman. So what does that make him? Isn't he the sandbag man here? Or?
He's still the hitman. He's
just
anti-hitman. It happened once, all right?
Yeah.
MP the King found Yue once.
Yeah.
And never again.
Well, this is the heel man version, right?
Yeah.
True.
It's the heel man version. He just stands there. He stands there, he takes it, and he says, "Thank you, you're welcome."
Can I get more, sir?
Yeah, can I get more, sir? Because at that point, Aurora have already done their job. And you really just see the tale of two different teams. One that has had a season and 2 international tournaments playing together against a team that was literally just formed. Because everything that Aurora did in this series was just, I wouldn't call it perfect, but they all did their jobs at the right time. Timing was the biggest theme from that game number 1, and that's just it for this entire series.
And that's why I said, when you mentioned with the glue pick specifically, or the game plan from Twisted Minds was to mess with the timings, it was there, and they had glimpses of it. There was those moments where, it might have worked, but ultimately, again, it was just the scale of the game, and it ran out of their hands here.
Which is so odd to consider, because you go into a game drafting and playing to mess up your opponent. That's some twisted way of playing a counter-punch lineup.
Yeah.
But just the same, you look at their draft, they're very ult-dependent.
Yes.
So what was the theme? What was the thing we were mentioning over and over again is they kept gassing out. They kept running out of options. It's the opposite of what they did in game 1, wherein they had great cardio going into an MMA match. They could last long, but they can't win. This is the opposite. They can't last long at all, but if they throw 5 or 6 punches, haymakers nonetheless, and they don't win, it's over.
It's over.
They just,
It's done. It's done.
It's like a Beyblade run out of stamina.
They just go down and keel over. And that's what I really appreciate what Aurora did in their tournament. Did you say baby?
I was going to say.
A baby ran out of...
Beyblade.
Oh, Beyblade. I heard a
Stop
baby.
spinning,
I heard
bro.
a baby ran out of stamina. That's you as I was saying.
That too.
Where have you been the past couple of days, Redmire?
I don't know, dude. I like the Pharsa and Edith because it was just the perfect answer to the Twisted Minds lineup. How they wanted to form up around the map. The fact that Pharsa, Yue wasn't shy with using the Feathered Airstrike to pop Hajizi every time he saw him. I was like, what am I going to do now as a Ferris?
Preemptively.
Yeah, preemptively. Again, control, timing, Aurora had all of it.
And not only that, but again, you saw that from the stats breakdown there too. Twisted Minds had nothing. They had 0 turrets, 0 turtles, 0 lords, obviously.
A kill.
They had a kill, and I mean, it looked good in some moments where it's like, okay, maybe they can win this team fight, but again, they're going to have to go back to that drawing board before their next matchup ahead of them. And RORA, they can continue to improve, because that's even what we heard over on stage with the winning interview. They do clearly stand by the fact that they have made improvements, but they can make more, and I think that's the expectation of every single team that competes in week 1, or at least the early half of the regular season. And so, again, for the opening match today, I don't know, did you guys expect the sweep?
Yes.
Did you expect this one?
I saw the RORA win, but I did not expect the sweep.
You didn't expect the sweep?
I did predict a 1, man.
You did.
I thought this would be coming in, because the way I see Twisted Minds now is it feels like I'm just looking at Season 14 Blacklist again.
Yeah.
Where again, I mentioned, if ever this team somehow shapes up and makes it to the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised. They did it last season. But I expect a very rough start.
Rough start, yeah.
Again, let them cook. Sometimes the best things cooked are the ones that take the longest to cook. 4 or 5 hour simmer.
the
4 or 5 week simmer might be the trick.
A cold brew.
a cold brew.
Like
Leave
a
it
cold brew, so
overnight.
good. Yeah, overnight.
That might work too, you know, overnight. We'll see, because there's plenty of time for Twisted Minds to get it together. But again, congratulations to RORA there. That's going to be it for now. We're going to take a break before our second match. Again, I'm Naisu. This is Leo and Renmar. We'll be back with you guys after the break.
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! The Only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
Who needs to go to a concert when you can own that stage with your friends?
Enjoy a night of impromptu bowling tournament.
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! The Only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
Who needs to go to a concert when you can own that stage with your friends?
Enjoy a night of impromptu bowling tournament.
worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
Who needs to go to a concert when you can own that stage with your friends?
Enjoy a night of impromptu bowling tournament.
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
Who needs to go to a concert when you can own that stage with your friends?
Enjoy a night of impromptu bowling tournament.
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
Who needs to go to a concert when you can own that stage with your friends?
Enjoy a night of impromptu bowling tournament.
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
Who needs to go to a concert when you can own that stage with your friends?
Enjoy a night of impromptu bowling tournament.
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
Who needs to go to a concert when you can own that stage with your friends?
Enjoy a night of impromptu bowling tournament.
worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
Who needs to go to a concert when you can own that stage with your friends?
Enjoy a night of impromptu bowling tournament.
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
Who needs to go to a concert when you can own that stage with your friends?
Enjoy a night of impromptu bowling tournament.
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
Who needs to go to a concert when you can own that stage with your friends?
Enjoy a night of impromptu bowling tournament.
worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
Who needs to go to a concert when you can own that stage with your friends?
Enjoy a night of Impromptu Bowling Tournament.
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
Who needs to go to a concert when you can own... Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with...
Malakas, Pilipinas, malakas kahit anong lane, we become the monsters. Malakas, Pilipinas, malakas face the golden sun and ribbon for the 3 stars. Look at us to the top, no ifs, no buts. Winning any game, para to sa PINAS. Di mo matitinag aming boses on your level. Nasa kalye man o mobile, you know I become a legend. Open fire, we unite, we winners. Built with pressure, the diamonds are made of. Switch na lane na parang gera, HP racing, may reset up. Built na katang buhat ni Hilda, full load SS parang Lyra. Susundan ko ang iyong bakas, kasama patas, tagumpay natin to. Dahil tayo'y malakas, para sa Pinas. Nasa amin ang alas, hindi tuwa atras. Kinikilala sa taas kasi kami ang malakas, para sa Pinas. Nasa amin ang alas, hindi tuwa atras. Kinikilala sa taas, ganito kami sa Pinas. Wow! Hold on. Yeah, wala ka sa Pinas. We are laging every beat, no surrender, no retreat. Pag nagsama-sama, just imagine what we can achieve. Lacking every beat, no surrender, no retreat. Giving 100 all my all, cause we just cannot be defeated. We are unstoppable, immune and invulnerable. Ready ang equipment, lahat frozen, malang crowd control. Pakita ko na jab like pow, beast of the southeast. Taas sa watawat, proud and loud, cause every enemy we devour. Susundan ko ang iyong bakas, kasama patas, tagumpay natin to. Dahil tayo'y malakas, para sa Pinas. Nasa amin ang alas, hindi tuwa atras. Kinikilala sa taas kasi kami ang malakas, para sa Pinas. Nasa amin ang alas, hindi tuwa atras. Kinikilala sa taas, ganito kami sa Pinas. Wow! Malakas, Pilipinas, malakas kahit anong lane, we become the monsters. Malakas, Pilipinas, malakas face the golden sun and repping for the 3 stars. unite with the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, we the stars.
Ang lakas ng Pinas, we unite with the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, we unite with the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, we unite with the stars. Ang lakas ng Pinas, we the stars.
The 15th season of MPL Philippines is brought to you by the following sponsors. Infinix, the MPL official gaming phone. Lakas sa laro with Infinix. Smart, the official telco partner of MPL Philippines. Our partner in esports, Time Zone. Join the fun at Time Zone. TT Racing, for those who dream, work, and play. TT Racing has your back. Don't miss any MPL action by following our official Facebook and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Follow MPLPH on TikTok for more content. Experience the Lakas ng Pinas of MPLPH Season 15 action live at Green Sun Hotel. Grab your tickets now via official MPLPH website. All the regular season tickets are now available at 200 pesos. MPL Philippines is monitored and supervised by the Games and Amusement Board.
A team who has accomplished so much for the Philippines, now facing off against another team that wants to prove so much to the audience out there as they introduce themselves. It's ONIC Philippines and TNC ahead of us. Welcome back to the English stream. I'm Naisu, this is Leo and Renmar. We had a little bit of a break, but it's still us, the Wee Bear Bros. How are we feeling?
I am excited to see if our status quo will be challenged here today because, as mentioned, ONIC Philippines has been carrying the banner of Filipino MLBB for the better part of the past 6 months against TNC, who is one of the OG franchises in Filipino esports that's been around for about a decade now.
Personally, I am scared and terrified because I was one of the people who was very excited to see that Yaoi was coming back home and playing with TNC. But their first match was up against gods, man. It's ONIC PH.
Yeah, I would go to that octave as well, you know. You know, but if you missed the first match, by the way, for everybody watching, tuning in right now, the Kite Brothers, they led RORA to the first sweep of the season, the first victory for them in our first match of the day. That was our opener for MPL Philippines Season 15. And it was great to see. And I know a lot of people are waiting to witness exactly what's going to happen between, you know, these two teams come together because, I don't know, man. I feel like every single time, and I can say this because it's happened in the past 5 times, every single time a team for the Philippines wins the World Championship, you want to see what can they improve on? What can they bring to the next season? And that's what's going to happen here. But before that, of course, we want to thank our sponsors, Time Zone. We mentioned them earlier. They have an exclusive promo just for you guys. Get 400 pesos power load for only 200 pesos. That's a huge deal. All you have to do is register on the Time Zone Fun app, insert the promo code TZXMPL, and redeem the voucher at any of your favorite Time Zone venues. Don't miss out on the amazing deal because, I don't know, I love arcades. I'm sure you guys do too.
Hey, when you're not in an arcade and you're gaming at home, you better be ready to sit comfy in your TT Racing gaming chair.
TT Racing gaming chair. Oh, speaking of, get 2,000 pesos off a discount on your next purchase by using the TT Racing X MPL Philippines exclusive voucher code MPL2000 over at ttracing.ph.
Plus, don't miss out on exciting TT Racing gaming chair giveaways during MPL Philippines. So the very broadcast you're watching now. Stay tuned for more info. Just remember, for those who dream, work, and play, TT Racing has your back.
I love chairs.
I love chairs too. I would love one of these chairs.
I love chair.
Just one chair. I would want multiple of these.
I'm happy with one.
I'd love having multiple TT Racing chairs too.
Yeah.
I love them so much, I would go out of my way to get them. Like, I would go to wherever they are and take them.
I will join you when they have their, because I know there's going to have like a flagship store or something soon,
It's nearby.
Right? It's nearby you?
Yeah.
We can on-ground flagship store. Yeah, they did a whole reveal.
We can camp out
with some of our friends.
We can camp out.
Midnight camp out, right?
I know exactly where it is.
And they have lots of collabs too, right?
Speaking of collabs, man, Yaoi's leading the past ONIC domination. TNC's past ONIC domination. Can the Yaoi lead TNC's past ONIC domination?
It's a lot on the shoulders of the playmaker here.
Yeah,
that's a lot to ask.
Yeah, again, you're one of the first dudes to become, well, alongside our Cambodian Filipino bred. They're not Cambodian Filipino, but the Filipinos that became champions in Cambodia, Kosei and MP the King. Alongside them, Yawi is one of the players who has won MPL trophies in 2 different regions. So, yeah, there's a lot of pressure. And he is also a world champion, so...
Well, you know, speaking of the world champions, Leo, why don't you take us through the world champion 7-year history?
This is exactly who Yawi and the rest of TNC are facing off against. Well, besides former 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds,
Students.
former amateur players. There you go. I want to point out the fact that these players have gone through the MLBB esports ecosystem in the Philippines, and they have been hardened and forged in the hardest possible region to play professional MLBB in, and their road to becoming world champions, nay, MPL Philippines champions, was nowhere close to easy. Kirk even took a year off. Look at that. He was, the later part of 2019, he was just grinding RG, man.
Grind.
Yeah, and you gotta highlight that, because it's those, oh my goodness, I'm not part of a main 5. I'm not even usually played as a sub.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna grind MLBB up until I become, well, for the path of Kirk, a world champion.
And I want to say that's part of the whole process of, you know, working behind the scenes,
Fire.
what people don't see. Now, also, speaking of that fire, this is a 7-year history for TNC's players. Renmar, take us through.
Well, we all know the path that Yawi went on through Next Play Evos, Echo, becoming world champs, and of course going on over to Indonesia with then Aura, then Team Liquid Indonesia to become an MPL champion because of the results of MPL ID Season 14. But Kozen is someone who's flown under the radar of pretty much everyone here in the Philippines, but this always feels like there's always been eyes on him. If it wasn't the eyes of RSG, it's the eyes of Minana. Now TNC. Hearing about what pro players have talked about when it comes to Kozen, apparently there's something with this young man that really a lot of players have acknowledged. This dude could be the next big deal, the next big gold laner, but it's still going to be quite a long road for the young man to find his footing.
Just to put into perspective how deep TNC's well of experience goes, 2 of the 5 were once imports. 3 of the 7 were once imports. Waiting in the wings is 3 Martizi. He played in the MDL Indonesia system for the better part of 2 years, and that is the kind of wisdom and knowledge TNC's playing with now in Season 15.
And knowing TNC, they have historically been the team to do a lot of switcheroos, like through the season, right? Now, this one, I feel like maybe we see some minor changes, like you mentioned, you know, 3 Mars still waiting in the wings there, but my main thing for this TNC, this iteration of them, and this season is really to see how do they mesh with, I mean, Yawi was the headline here.
With each other.
With each other, but like, yeah, again, I don't want to put everything on Yawi's shoulders. As big of a star player as he has been, and, you know, a lot of the attention that he has, again, we're still looking at this whole team lineup from TNC and what can they accomplish together as a team here.
I'm wondering, in Season 14, who was it that was actually calling shots? Was it Lancey or Kozen?
That I'm not sure, but from what I remember, the reveal of TNC this season, Lancey's actually marked as captain.
See? So there you go. We see a little bit of the delegation of tasks, the division of labor. Maybe there is a spotlight on Yawi. Well-deserved.
Yeah.
But Lancey will definitely also be calling the shots here and saying, you know what, Yawi, I got you. These guys will follow you for sure.
Wasn't there one point where Lancey last season was also like leading some statistics? I can't recall which one it was, but you know, again, he was leading some statistics from S14, and that's why I'm saying, like, with the TNC lineup here, they've got, I feel like, the pieces to the puzzle, so to speak, and Yawi obviously being a big part of it, and what a lot of our international viewers will be paying attention to as well, because obviously he garnered a lot of fans when you know, his time over in Indonesia as well. And so you mix all that up together and talk about a trial ahead of them, their first match being, you know, ONIC Philippines ahead of them. But I'd love to see exactly what they're able to do. So let's ask you guys at home who you got, right? Do you have A, the champion era Yawi, or do you have B, the champion era Brusco? These 2 roamers, who do you guys feel like you got here?
Okay, you know what? As a tentpole figure, an individual, a superstar, can't go wrong with saying Yawi.
Yeah.
He literally is the Cho.
He is. He is the Cho.
Yeah. The Cho of the world, not just in the Philippines. There's an interesting fact about Yawi's Cho. Do we share it now?
It'll probably come up later.
We'll get the numbers.
It'll come up later, but there's a little teaser for it. Much as Yawi straight up redefined the Roam role
Or
and
the
what
game.
it could be and the game. Something about Champion era Brusco hits diff that I really appreciate, man.
You know what Champion Brusco does?
The second match of the season, of the day here. But right now, Blue seems to be the favor for now, anyway.
Yeah. And at the same time, in a best of 3 series, like if you decide to go blue for the very first game, it also gives you some leeway to understand how the other team wants to draft. Because seeing what the other team likes to ban out in the first phase on the red side is actually quite telling in terms of like what you could potentially be seeing in terms of their mindset heading into this series. What they want to take away from you, how they want to determine the flow of the draft with the first 2 picks. So I think blue side now would be, well, really good considering that we're still trying to discover what this meta means. I mean, I feel like one of the reasons why the red side worked out in SPS was because everyone had a very good understanding of the limitations and the strengths of the meta. Now, since we're in that whole new era phase with Hanzo coming in, the Selena question, now you're wondering, well, maybe blue side, let's just go to blue, let's be safe.
I also just feel like there's one big asterisk, you know? Like, when it comes to the MPL Philippines teams and their players, it's like they are the ones that are traditionally, you know, setting up that new meta, that new era. So it's like, even though you have that blue side, it's almost in a way, too, it kind of gives you a little bit of that safety net to see how things go through that throughout the draft.
Yeah.
But, you know, like you mentioned, Renmar, it's just a lot of it is, you know, what does this shape out to be? This is why, for me, personally, I always love the beginning of a season, because you start to see what is the shift of the meta and where do things fall into place.
All the more it's possible because a win is a win, 1 point, so you can play with that blue side advantage.
Yeah, 100% true. And also now it's time to go ahead and welcome our marshals for this matchup. Second one, last one of the night. Let's go ahead and welcome to the stage.
Welcome to this matchup between TNC Pro Team and ONIC Philippines. Our marshals, Josh, Chico, Pat, and and to face off against the reigning champions of the world and of the Philippines, it's TNC Pro Team! In the EXP lane, Lord JS!
here we go once again. What an introduction for the champions, the world champions here. Leo, take us through ONIC Philippines.
I said it before, I'll say it again. I think the team to take down ONIC Philippines hasn't been made yet. We have never seen a team dominate the Philippines nor the world the way ONIC PH has. And if you're talking about individuals, sure, maybe some stars may shine a little brighter. But when you're looking at a squad, a team, a full 5, no, 6, 7, 8 with their coaches and their newly acquired 6-man in hate, no one shines brighter than the Super Fam.
They're so damn good, dude. No other way to put it. They're monsters.
I remember saying that, man, a couple times, and it's so true. Now, against them, it's TNC Pro Team. Renmar, take us through.
This could potentially be the greatest David versus Goliath game number 1 in a season opener we've ever seen. But let's not put too much pressure on the shoulders of TNC Pro Team. Lord JM, Kozen, Zaida, Lancy will have to go along with what Yawi is known for. Fast action, decisive rotations, and if ever they're gonna lean on that idea, pickoffs. But we were mentioning the sharing of responsibilities, the crown of shout calling. It's not just Yawi, apparently it's also Lancy, the man who's touted as actually the captain of TNC Pro Team. How Lancy and Yawi will balance their rotations and shot calling is gonna be key.
Yeah, it is, and not to mention, you know, when you really look at TNC Pro Team and how they're going to be able to go ahead and go against a team of this caliber that, you know, I agree with what Leo said. There isn't a team right now that actually I feel like can defeat ONIC Philippines and just across the board. Well, this could be a great showcase of what TNC Pro Team is bringing to the season, and that's the biggest thing here. Now, expectations, I think for a lot of people that have been following, you know, the league for a while, might just look to see if TNC Pro Team can, if they take a game off ONIC Philippines in this series, I feel like that already is a huge accomplishment for any team, really, that does end up eventually facing ONIC Philippines here.
That's right. The last time we saw a team this dominant with the world thinking who can beat him, who can stop the streak, was Blacklist International. Yeah. And in Season 8, it was ONIC PH then who broke it in half, that streak. So with that said, who's to say that an underdog like TNC couldn't do the same?
Well, we'll see that, but also for the integrity of the players in the games here, we're going to throw it over to a ping test between our both teams.
Gusto nyo ba na na pinapanood nyo sila?
Hindi. Anong gusto nyo? Yung busy kayo pero kayo yung naglalaro? O hindi kayo busy pero pinapanood nyo yung mga tao na alam nyong kaya nyo mapunta sa posisyon na yon?
Yung gigil na gigil kayo?
First and foremost, I would like to say that I would like to congratulate everyone in this room.
Lahat na sila yan? Salta ka, Big. Ikaw nga. Salta ka kasi. Salta ka. Ikaw salta ka ko. Salta ka, Hindi, tignan mo na dito, yung mapa. Pati yung nasa tignan mo sa'yo. Makulay ba talaga? Pero makulay. Mataas na siguro brightness ko. O baka ganyan talaga siya, no? Labo na yan, larga na yan, tara na.
Great to see that ping test there between both teams, right? I mean, that's how they get ready for the game. That's how they make sure things are situated and set up. They got to make sure the comms are ready, and King Kong speaks English.
I mean, no, that's TNC, right? TNC is doing something a little more akin to a national ping test. Can you hear me? Yo, yeah. Speak up. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And here's King Kong spouting out lines that Coach Tony says.
Yeah.
Verbatim to whoever's in front of him. Like,
I think it just goes to show, like, really how closely knit the Super Fam is, that the words of Coach Why Not, King Kong can recite word per word perfectly during a ping test.
And he's in a trance. Like, he's not even talking to anyone. He's just, do you want to...
going with it. Let's take a look at the Infinix keys to victory here, Renmar.
Yeah, ONIC Philippines, lakas ng Pinas. Show them what it means to be the champions of the strongest region in MLBB esports and the world champions at that, and even the recently crowned SPS champions. So, come on, just do ONIC things. Rebuild and rebirth, TNC. This might be another scenario of let them cook, but I hope their rebirth is coming out of the gate with a bang. Last season, Hate in the very first game of TNC played the frickin' cushion. I'm not saying play the cushion again, but I wouldn't mind if we saw some surprises that could potentially make ONIC go, whoa, what the heck is that? Make or break the status quo. That just replicates what I said in the previous statement.
I'm going to say this, man. You know, we've been saying let them cook for a while. I feel like a couple seasons now for TNC. I'd love to see them come into the season. Like, if they need to cook a little bit, sure, but like, let's get right to it. You know, let's get to the bulk of the ulam here, because that's what we need from TNC.
These are different chefs now, Joseph. You have to understand that, yeah, it's TNC for the longest time. When is it going to be ready? But, you know, it's different set of aprons, different tools, different
cuisine.
sous chefs.
Exactly. It's like,
I have no idea what to expect, by the way.
Yeah, it's so tough to ask for it because I'm going to share down a stat that I shared to the rest of the talents earlier. So for TNC Pro Team, yeah, let him cook, but the last time they cooked in MPL was in May 4, 2024, Season 13. That was the last time we saw them win an MPL Philippines series. And then 23 days later, that was the last time we saw TNC Pro Team in May 27 win a broadcasted match. And that was in SPS Season 5 against a team called Valhalla.
So it's been a while.
It's been a while.
That's why I said they've been cooking for a while.
Yeah, well, at this point, the meat is disintegrating. It's already mixed into the rest of the broth.
This is more than sous vide.
It's time for a new wok. It's time for a new spatula, a new can of oil.
30 years dry aged in olive oil. At this point, it's just
finally time to wash the pan.
Yeah.
This is why, you know, they are phoenixes, right? They do go through the rebirth.
But again, their first match is against ONIC, bro.
Who made that happen?
I don't know.
The league chooses.
That's a good question.
Hey, whether it happened in the opening week or towards the later half of round one, it was gonna happen.
Yeah,
that's true.
I just wish that this isn't a stomp. Either way it goes. I mean,
not even like a game. Not even like take a game, right? Like just make it competitive.
Yeah, two very competitive games of MLBB, and that's actually what we got the bulk of from TNC Pro Team in Season 14. It's the same script. Literally, they're like, hey, they're actually gonna win this game or series. What happened?
That was the thing, man.
Yeah.
It was always like, you know, you were about to taste the dish, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's gone.
Yeah. You literally see the waiter bring your order, and it's not yours.
And they take that hard left.
Yeah. So hopefully we don't get that, because my heart cannot break anymore for TNC Pro Team. Meanwhile, for ONIC, all I could say is maybe you guys could go just a little bit easier. No, I'm kidding. No, definitely not.
That is not the champion's way.
Yeah, that's not the champion's way. But yeah, it's tough because with what they showed in SPS, that made me terrified of ONIC even more.
Yeah.
For this coming season of MPL Philippines.
Look, they 4-0'd their brothers in Indonesia.
Yes.
What makes you think they would not take it all the way against another Filipino franchise?
Yeah, I will not be surprised if somehow ONIC wins this 4-0. Somehow they just get like 4-0 there. It's like, oh my God.
Just every single match they play in the regular season is 4-0. No, again, jokes aside, guys.
Can we give it more than a point?
Home. You know, that's
just goes to show how crazy they are, man.
Yeah, you guys have been watching this team. And for a lot of people, maybe your first time seeing the Superfam or, you know, ONIC Philippines was M6. Maybe that was your first time. And by the way, there was that whole documentary of M6 done, and it was well put together, and it really highlighted a lot of the different teams' journeys, but also for the champions on how, you know, they managed to get to that dominant showcase that they had in M6 and then SPS, where even for me personally, I was just watching from home. I know you gentlemen were working at, and I was like, I did not expect this. I did not expect the 4-0.
ONIC Philippines is like Hulk Hogan in the 80s. But it's not predetermined.
I don't know about the 80s.
It's not strictly in the 80s. Yeah, that's just sports. You're a football guy. Who's the most dominant team in American football?
I don't know. In history? Like, maybe Green Bay Packers? I don't know, man.
Okay, or no, just imagine an entire team of Peyton Mannings. Is he the GOAT? Is he the GOAT QB?
Maybe. I really don't know who the GOAT QB would be. I think it's such a subjective. I mean, it's like us with the MLBB.
Here, everyone understands this. All of them are LeBron James at 40 years old.
Or MJs.
Or MJs.
But see, that's the same
thing.
Or Kobe's. They're that good.
Or Curry's.
Like, seriously, if this is your first time, for some reason, welcome to MLBB Esports, welcome to MPL Philippines. We're very happy to have you. But you are about to witness the little gods of the sport today. I mean, they aren't perfect, but imagine this. In their last 32 series,
32.
They've won 29 of them. That includes a show match that they played in China.
What is that percentage?
29 out of 32?
Yeah.
I'm looking at 95, 90 to 95, somewhere in between.
My goodness. Well, we're going to be jumping into the draft here for this game number 1, and we'll see what the world champions, ONIC Philippines, the previous champions of the MPL Philippines as well, want to go ahead and do on this blue side as TNC is on the red. First phase almost done. They take out the Efovius and the Harith. Over on the flip side, we got the Jushin coming out the Fanny. What was the last ban probably going to be here for TNC?
Matilda's open.
Yeah, they're going to go down that route.
Granye's open. Suyo Joy is open.
I think they'll think about taking out a pick away from King Kong. Either the Suyo or... No, if they take one of the other, then they're left with... Less, yeah. Because the main trade right now is Suyo, Joy, Nolan, Hayabusa. But then some teams are willing to slot in or sneak in a Fredrin or a Martis in there. So they're respecting the Selena of Super Friends. So for ONIC, they can go Suyo as they usually do, but sometimes they're willing to...
Or first pick Matilda.
First pick Matilda, exactly.
First pick Matilda. I mean, Suyo's open too. Like, is that going to be... I wonder if that's going to be a trend for teams to go ahead and pick up. That was not Suyo. That was definitely a Joy that comes through here.
Yeah, I think that's like the favorite pick of ONIC right now. It is one of the heroes getting their skin. And TNC drafting red side like how ONIC would do. They're looking for macro control. The Gatotkacha has a wide coverage, of course, with how its ultimate works. And of course, the low Yi being able to maximize the use of the diversion and taking a pick away from Super Friends.
Oh, wow. The Indonesian icon, Gatotkacha, was a breakout hero just a couple of weeks ago at SPS in the playoffs. TNC are on point. I'm loving what Coach DJ Douglas Joseph is on. But actually taking the reins once more. He was once a member of TNC as a playing coach and analyst, a sixth man, but now he's head coach.
He's head coach here too. That's Granger picked up, and the next pick there is CC. Very common picks, you know, that a lot of us have already seen ONIC Philippines play. You know they're going to be playing it at the highest level possible. So really for this last pick for the first phase for TNC, it looks like it's going to be the Suyo. That jungle matchup we're so used to seeing.
Yeah, Suyo Joy trade. ONIC gets him come first. They have a very proactive pick in the EXP lane for Kirk. He can bully with that CC, whatever matchup he's going to be up against. I think ONIC might want to watch out for a Swerve Glue pick in the EXP. It's not frequent that we'll see Glue and Gatotkacha paired up together, but honestly, that just sounds absolutely terrifying. Surprisingly, TNC are actually banning out the Cho. So that might be a signal that this Gatotkacha might be leaning a little bit more towards the roam, or TNC are going to be playing a little bit slower in their roam pick, might end up with something along the lines of a Tigreal for Yaoi, then the Gatotkacha goes EXP lane.
Much like the Hilda situation, but the opposite way around. I think this Gatot's going to be the roam, man. We saw, what, 9 out of 10, if not actually all 10 Gatotkacha's in SBS be in the roam. Like, it was a solid pick. So I'd say this is Yaoi's pick right here now.
Okay, if that's going to be Yaoi's pick, the EXP lane is still open. If they just want something to disrupt, they can go Hilda with the Fulvius got up against a CC.
It's good against the Joy.
Good against the Joy, yeah. I wonder if they're willing to play Lucas into CC. Some teams are willing to do that, but it's so risky.
She is still open.
Yeah.
Lucas, that was banned out, what, twice? Yeah, twice previous series, so
yeah.
See if it comes through here. Next ban, though, for TNC. Are they still going to go ahead and just focus on the roam picks? Looks like it is. Hylos is taken out, so for Brusco, anyways, what does this leave open for him to pick up?
The
Tigreal? Unless it's unless I don't know, this is a flex and it's taken, but Dang is actually going to be banned out.
Matilda too, uncharacteristically left.
Yeah, I think of right now for TNC. Okay, they're taking pick away. All right, Moscow. They're just going pure macro. Yeah, they just want to play around the map. Superfist might end up here with either a Vexana. I'd like to see him pick up a Vexana, actually. Or a... he can Farsa. Farsa should be good. He'll just have to really time it against Yaoi's initiations.
Both are good because they can check bushes for the diversion.
Yeah.
And Yaoi's jump.
I'd like to see the Farsa just because at least you can rely on the Wings by Wings to get out from the Avatar, the Guardian, or the diversion. You know, it's better than if he was the Vexana and he's just relying on, you know, the kit or the flicker.
And just sheer footwork.
Literally.
Gotta get out of here.
Athleticism, you know? I mean.
Let me just sidestep.
This is a very ONIC draft from TNC Pro Team, not gonna lie.
They studied their opponents very well.
Their priorities.
There it is.
Farsa and, of course, the Khalid. Alongside the Tigreal is one of the go-to picks of Brusco.
That's a pick that goes as far back as M6.
Yeah.
Wait, what
was that
pick
last
for
pick?
TNC?
I don't know. We're still waiting for the last TNC pickup.
Was that a blitz pick?
Not showing up yet.
I don't see it behind us.
Yeah, it's not a blitz pick, but it is up on our screen.
What's the roamer, sir?
Arena. Will it be a roam? Got that?
Gotta be.
What do we got here?
Oh no, sorry. What's the XP? I'm pretty sure this is a roam, Gatot.
I wonder if they're gonna go Edith. There's no slot in for Ruby. They need some hard grab. They need a little bit more easy to pull off crowd control. If that is a roam, Gatot.
Terizla's out of the picture. Arlo, though. Arlo!
I would like an Arlo.
Fight for the ultimate answer.
They just go Hilda. Maybe it's because the last series soured me towards the idea of Hilda.
Yeah, me too. I just blanked out.
Yeah. I didn't even consider the... Oh, wait, no. Well, yeah, I did. We did mention it earlier in the draft.
It's a good counter to the Joy. Like, you just live in King Kong's face.
Yeah, we did mention it at the start of the draft. Yeah.
But that's XP, right? XP Hilda.
Yeah,
so
it's
we
an
got
XP Hilda.
Yeah. XP Hilda this time around. They got a contract for Yawi. I think, again, I like what TNC brought to this game one, but again, they're gonna have to cover every single base. That's just the box that every single team that has to play against ONIC Philippines has to check. That was the case last season.
Yeah. And again, the draft of TNC feels like, other than it just being a mirror match of like, hey, it feels like it's ONIC versus ONIC in terms of the hero matchups. You could say it's like ONIC versus TLID, ONIC versus RQ Hoshi.
And if it's ONIC versus ONIC, ONIC PH wins.
Yeah.
You can't play the teams lined up better than them.
If somehow TNC, again, with how much we highlighted ONIC PH, if TNC can even just take this game, that's already a massive statement.
See if they're able to pull it off here. We're jumping right into the Land of Dawn here. Last match of opening day for us for MPL Philippines Season 15. Can TNC Pro Team do it and surprise us all against ONIC Philippines?
Very aggro start at the center of the map by Super Friends and Brusco, knowing that the Khalid and Bully, they got the catch and Low Yi. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, Brusco has not yet popped his region, but Yawi has. So that's a little bit of an edge that Brusco has.
Man, and Brusco too, you know, for the most part, whenever he plays this Khalid, he's had some game-winning, I would say, just set potential, even on the biggest stages. And that's something that TNC obviously has to worry about. And the fact that he can also take a lot of attention, Kelro's taken a couple shots. Of course, that gold lane matchup, but here, bottom lane.
Oh, that's a quick rotation. Hope we can see it.
He has a Vengeance at least.
Kirk survives the 2v1, and he does pop the Vengeance, yes.
So across the map, you see ONIC PH winning the gold lane while they lose the EXP lane. Not entirely so, but the first rotation at the least. In terms of the emblems, is that really a Master Assassin on Kirk?
It looks like it.
He just wants to be aggro up against that Hilda. That's crazy. That's a rare spot. That's a rare sight to see.
You know what surprised me more is, with everything that's happened in mid and in bottom lane, Kelro just chunked half of the gold shielding on the gold lane turret.
Yeah. If what happened in the EXP lane wasn't a considerable win for TNC, definitely you could say at least for the first maybe next 2-3 minion waves, Kelra is winning the gold lane.
Not only that, but he also with that Fury Hammer, right? So he's got that little extra penetration damage towards the Mozcom. So wants to win those trades. He still looks like he's going for it too. Right now it's TNC to go ahead and start up this turtle though. Might be able to go ahead and secure this one.
Failed airstrike by Super Friends, preemptively used. Kirk going into the back line. Zaida goes down. The Kirk attack draws first blood. Traded out for Brusco, popped as well. King Kong gets to work in on the turtle. Retribution still on point despite the man advantage for TNC. ONIC takes it.
That was perfect positioning by ONIC. A great use of the feathered airstrike from that area by Super Friends. Caught TNC off guard. At the same time, the timing of them just jumping on Zaida, hounding him. The late entry of Kirk meant that the Suyo was just pressured.
You see that diversion play up here on the top side too. They missed it by a little bit. I mean, they were trying to possibly catch out Kelra on his rotate back up, but unfortunately, they weren't able to do it. So things are going to reset. Brusco almost at level 4 available to him. While Yawi a little bit ahead. Feathered airstrike coming down already. Whoa.
Committing the flicker. So definitely the Monster Mage was looking for some blood. SOD thrown out by Kozin. Just a preemptive measure. Let's go of the ult. And they're rotating up. It looks like they're trying to shut down Kelra's early advantage, but it's not going to happen.
Look at that work.
Yeah, this is really tough because the rotation that TNC did at the center of the map was to sort of balance out Kozen losing the gold lane. But because Super Friends got to pop him and he was forced to go back, they lost the gold lane even more. So at some point, TNC just needs to start allocating some resources to, with the turtle up there, I think try to get Kirk out of lane and then eventually help Moskov out more.
That's worth a flicker, gentlemen. I'll take that call like 4 out of 5 times. I would always flicker as the Farsa to take Kozen down.
Yeah, just delay him a little bit further because you already saw the gap between the gold laners. What is it, about 1,000 plus at this point, and Kelra knows he's got that bit of an advantage. Brusco checking out the backside there, but he is going to get spotted out. He is just going to zoom on out, though, just fine.
Sandwalk is so dirty. You saw how much Zyda committed to trying to take down Brusco, and Brusco just says, nope. Oh, Lord JM down bottom. The level gap.
Master Assassin.
Clean. There you go. This answers the question.
Yeah, there's definitely Master Assassin at work there. I was like wondering, where is the damage reduction on the, since he's under the turret? I was like, oh wait, all right, yeah, the CC has Master Assassin.
It's an assassin with a yo-yo, man.
Yeah.
You know?
That sounds terrifying. That is a mid-season anime villain that potentially might come back for the next.
Ooh. Brusco pushing back 3 members of TNC. In comes Lord JM. That's a 4-man presence from the Phoenix. And they pull the turtle slightly toward their side. Here comes Kelra and King Kong from the flank. Brusco, less than half health. The SOD thrown out by Kozen. Sees that there are a lot of Sonics on that side of the map, and they do take the dance slow. Kirk down to a 1/5 of his health.
Good reset though by TNC Pro Team, and even ONIC, they decided to reset it. But now ONIC has spent a lot.
And they are going to commit the feathered airstrike. Blasting Yowie. Pops the AOG. No one home. Brusco taken down by Lord JM. Death by Snoo Snoo.
Oh, Yowie on the run. He does go down, though. Super Prince gets that one.
The clap back by the Monster Mage. The Super Fan has her eyes on the turtle. Zyda retreats, and just like that, Kelra won't let him go. And the second turtle goes over to the world champions once more.
And now ONIC Philippines are continuing it. They want to invade. Let's see if they'll be able to get this orange buff. King Kong does have his retribution, but no, it's just forcing TNC to react and watch.
The Beast is playing with his food and steals one away from Zyda.
ONIC Philippines. It's crazy because I was just about to say that was oh wait, bottom lane.
Kirk, that's 3 of them. Oh, he's not going to survive this one. Serving up a kill to Kozen.
Great job at least finally, to get a response because it looked like things were really tipping in favor of ONIC Philippines there, but at least TNC finds a kill now on the bottom side. They should be able to get some push there, but here's the response now from ONIC Philippines.
Yowie put down to less than half of his health. Brusco catches a few. The flicker raging sandstorm. Yowie down to a 1/10 of his health. JM looking for a kill. Brusco gets hit by a stray SOD. Double kill for Kozen. Super Prince bites it. AOG by Yowie. Might have been a little too risky. Backs off.
Overheat by ONIC Philippines and TNC now with the counter, showing that they can dance with ONIC. It's not the cleanest, most dominating dance, but the Phoenix Army can fight and take it to the defending world and Philippine champions. We saw it in the last objective fight. We thought TNC would win it. ONIC PH got to recover. Now, off of a TNC recovery, ONIC PH tried to answer back, but again, they overextended. This could have been a great play, but they didn't take into account Lord JM's positioning, forcing them back. It's also a very good call by Kozen to toss the SOD, and at the same time for TNC to push forward and threaten, forcing the flicker from Kelra.
Yeah, great, just kind of scrappy fight from TNC, and I feel like that tends to be, what we see from TNC as a team a lot of the time. So if they want to go ahead and just kind of battle it out, brawl it out there with ONIC Philippines in any of these lanes, they'll most likely take those fights.
TNC's side laners are eating good. 3-0 for Kozen. 2-0 for Lord JM. Despite the rocky first, 5 minutes of this game, I think they're onto a good start. These Phoenix Wings are actually spinning their way into Onyx's minds. I think if they don't watch out for Kozen, again, they find another moment like that, could be game 1.
Yeah, again, TNC, they're trading really well. Their rotations, honestly, they're not perfect, but you could see, okay, this game plan, let's go here, try to force something. There's nothing here, let's go. Sometimes they would overextend, spend a little bit too long trying to do something, but other than that, I like how TNC is playing against ONIC Philippines right now.
Yeah, I'm really impressed so far, given the fact that even when they had things not go their way, you know, in the early game, they're still able to go ahead and pull things through because we're starting to see that even against an opponent like this, they're willing to take those fights.
And you know what? We've yet to even see a good diversion.
Yeah.
That's still something that they're keeping in their back pocket.
Yeah.
What if in the next, 5 minutes, ONIC gets used to the tempo of TNC's fighting, and then suddenly, Lancey says, let's take this bush. Yeah. TNC is very dangerous. Do consider that ever since we ended Season 14, they've had the longest hibernation amongst all franchises.
Yeah. We did see a glimpse of what a really good divergence from TNC could do. It was that pick off in Kirk just to balance things out. But yeah, we haven't seen the really big one that completely gives favor and momentum in the game for them. But I think I can see that happening. Really, I don't know how to explain it really enough. It's my job to explain things, but I don't know how to explain it. But there's something right now with the timings and the decision-making of TNC Pro Team that's just making me go, damn, that's pretty good. I like what you guys are showing right now. Keep that up.
I just want to, and I don't mean to be a party pooper here or to douse any flames out, but remember, a lot of us from last year or last season, we felt the same way when TNC's doing good in early portion of the game. So I would love to see the different factor here for this one is they carry through, like they finish through. I mean, this goes back to even traditional sports where like you could start strong but make sure you finish, and I feel like that has been the story for TNC as we head back into the game. Jumping in, we're 7 minutes in to catch you guys up here. Turtle is almost up. Last one, the third one of this game.
All of the above mentioned is true, but just the same, looking at that mini-map, it's still blue, all right? And all the Turtles went to ONIC despite the great start from TNC. So they can count their blessings, understand that that big play could still happen, but Joseph is right. They have to follow through, man.
Good wave manipulation up top, meaning it's taking a while for Koza to show himself. It's going to rely on an SOD to land.
Turtle down to about half health. Early hits on the ults from ONIC Philippines, and Brusco jumps in. Yawi bites it. That's a man down. Lord JM is going to follow through. King Kong gets another. 3 players left for TNC, and off the cusp is Kozin farming off cam.
Great execution there by ONIC Philippines. They, again, how many times have we seen this from ONIC when they have, is he going to steal it? Oh, too close for comfort, man.
Nope.
But yeah, TNC Pro Team are going to lose a purple buff here. Nice try there, Kozin. And yeah, good condition check. Super Friends landing the feathered airstrike hit, Brusco being in the right position to follow up, and everyone just collapsed at the same time. Great timing by ONIC PH. It was vintage ONIC.
Oh, and they're still collapsing down. Lancey survives with just a sliver of health. Kelra snipes him through from downtown. The AOG knocks up 2. Super Friends bitten down on, but Kelra gets the vengeance kill.
And this is part of it too. He just picked up a Sky Piercer, so now that Kelra goes and continues to build up, the shields are gonna pop. Even before this Lord comes into play here, about a minute away before it can get taken. So it almost feels like ONIC Philippines was like, yeah, TNC, you were a little scrappy. You might have had that little bit of a win, but even when it comes to the objective, we'll fight you guys, and we'll remind you who we are at this point.
Now I gotta glaze on ONIC PH because just watching them execute those fights, those sequences, is just literally, everyone knows what they have to do, where they need to be. How the heck did Kelra land that Death Sonata?
We didn't see the angle.
Yeah, I really thought that Zaida was at least blocking it, but Kelra somehow found an angle. I was like, nah, there's just right enough room where I'll be able to hit Lancey, and then it landed.
And that's why I love what Super Friends does when he picks up the Farsa here. Like, he is one of those players. I mean, more and more do it now, but he's been one of those players for the longest time when he picks up the Farsa. Like, he's so aggressive that he flickers forward, right?
He's done it twice this game.
He's done it twice this game, but he's done that so many times in the past, and it sets things up perfectly for those off angles.
That's a real moment, ladies and gentlemen, during the Infinix hand cam, where they took 3 down like it was nothing, trading out King Kong for 3 members of TNC. Lancey, Zaida, Yawi down. Lord Jam might follow through. One more for the Filipino Savage as Kelra takes down the last member, Sans Kozin from TNC.
He's still up in the heavens, the god of the gold lane, still proving that he lives up to that name. 6 kills, 0 deaths, 0 assists. He's just out for blood.
He was technically in the mid, but yes.
He's just a god.
He's a god
at this point. A lot of us have seen it, especially on this Granger pick. And we're going to take a look at the replay. I mean, look at this. The collapse down. Lord JM was waiting in the winds, but it's just too late. I mean, even if he comes in, Brusco just heals up, and he's like, I got you in a way. Even though he goes down, but Kelro will land that last shot, the Destinata. Oh, all right.
They missed the money shot. Like
Yeah,
then and there was the point blank hit of the Rondo even.
Yeah.
He didn't even have to hit that long range. And the more Kelra does this on the Granger, which throws me back to SBS, the more he reminds me of one of the Philippines' greatest athletes, pool player, Efren Bata Reyes.
Yeah, man.
The geometrical genius. Yeah.
Just the angles that he takes on the table.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Called him the magician. Other than the kid, he was the magician.
Dude, it's amazing how they both have multiple monikers and they all stick.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, Kelra does too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're both world champions.
Like all the praise we were dishing out for TNC Pro Team with the effort that we're showing, and this always seems to happen for an ONIC game, where it's like, oh, whoa. It's looking a little shaky. It looks like they might drop this. Suddenly, okay, let's flip the switch. Show them just how good we are at this game.
All right, you got your licks in.
Yeah, you good? All right. It's literally the IRL version of an Aldous going, my turn.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, I just think it's part of it is like, ONIC Philippines is, you know, when it comes to the team fighting, they're great, obviously. Individually in their lanes, they're great. But it's also that macro awareness, and this has always been the highlight of, I mean, even when Super Friends, for example, gets the Luyi, it even highlighted their macro awareness even more because of the plays they made. But just when they put pressure, because that was happening earlier, and that's why when we went back to the game, even though TNC won that little skirmish earlier on, it's like, well, yeah, the map is still blue. It's still for ONIC Philippines, because every time they lose something, they're getting something elsewhere. And that's what every single one of their games, from last season M6 to SPS to now, that's what they're doing.
They see the map in a different way. And at first, we thought it was just Super Friends. Off of the 8G podcast, it was revealed by a lot of pro players that guessed it on that podcast. Friends just sees the game differently, man. He reads the map like no one can. Apparently, you spend enough time with Super Friends as a part of the Super Fam,
you're going to learn.
You pick it up. You get. That's why I assume Kelra is so good at the Granger now, is because he sees the map in a different way.
He sees through Super Friends' eyes. Somehow, some way.
That's trippy.
That is.
Yeah, and it's just cool to see a gold laner that when he's getting provided vision, he does something with that vision. Whether it's Kirk, Brusco, either of those two, maybe even King Kong, a little bit too deep, a little bit too aggro. Kelra's always just there to go, nah, I got you. I'll make sure that if you go down, it won't be a waste.
We'll see if they can actually catch Kelra this time around, or actually fight for this Lord here.
Down to a fifth of its health, now a 10th. King Kong knee deep.
Oh!
Zaida gets the steal. AOG by Yaoi in the thick of it. He does go down, traded out for Super Friends. Looking for the punish. Kelra gets a double. Zaida running through.
Oh, no, Zaida.
Can ONIC Philippines stop him? He gets away with highway robbery.
A Lord, and they took Super Friends down to, and this will force ONIC PH to go back. Yaoi Lord JM will be up just in time. Let's see if King Kong will be able to delay it. Now, in terms of how the movement is going right now, it seems like, it might just be wasted. They won't be able to make the most out of this Lord TNC Pro Team.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, it's something. It's something. What a steal, though, by Zaida. Gotta commend him.
Is this correct? The first Lord of the game?
Yeah, very first one.
Yep.
Go to the hands for TNC. So they won't be able to push with the Lord. Mid-tower, it will fall. So, okay, TNC Pro Team will be able to get something out of here. Some semblance of a little bit more control now.
So it's not a total waste to get that one. Again, it's a little bit of hope that they needed too. So that mid-turret actually doesn't go down just yet.
Yikes.
As ONIC Philippines will go ahead and still continue to clear things. I'm wondering too, how many stacks does Kelra have right now? He's 8-0. So what did that put him at? I think he picked up the Sky Piercer
at around 2 or 3.
2 or 3, maybe 4 kills.
All right.
Oh, hold on.
What's this? They collapsed down onto the Brusco. Did not expect for there to be that many Phoenix Army members in that bush.
And I think, are we going to get another diversion? No, we're not, but that is a great play by TNC Pro Team. At this point, that pickoff is so expensive for ONIC PH.
That's a great play from TNC, and they can actually continue to do this and build around it.
Are we just going to let go of the fact that Zaida stole a Lord? He was down 2 levels, and he stole a Lord. What are the mechanics of this young man, formerly known as Mama Coco when he was playing in the amateurs?
Dude, ONIC Philippines wants to fight this, though. They're actually going to drop down the feathered airstrike. I don't think they can catch him, though, but Kirk...
Wait, they're still going!
They're still going. Oh, Kozin! Oh!
Kirk! Goes through the wall, jumps through, and yeah, TNC is... TNC's
diversion.
Real. Diversion going to the back line. Do they know? Super Prince throws out one, a Death Sonata 2, they cancel.
Yeah, just like that, ONIC PH gets control of the map again. If you've forgotten who Zaida is, a back-to-back MDL champion and MPL Season 13 champion with Team Liquid Philippines in their inaugural season. He was an MDL Season 2 Finals MVP and regular season MVP. For the longest time, though, touted as a double-edged sword, high-risk, high-reward type. That was high risk what he did trying to steal that Lord. Well, he got a high reward.
Definitely did, and so it might make ONIC Philippines also hesitant a little bit on this next one coming up in just a couple seconds. But this is where anytime, any lineup, any team that has the Lo Yi can play around the macro presence. But look at this. ONIC Philippines is going to go for themselves, trying to make a play.
Got a concealed play. Raging Sandstorm on a 3. SOD hits no one. Lancey's down. Bruce can turn it out for Zaida gets a kill. Look at the back line. King Kong takes down Kozin. The shutdown onto the Moskov. And Zaida tail, but Kelra shuts him down. You ain't going nowhere, son. 3 for 1. ONIC back on the board.
What a scramble by these two, and at the end of it all, it's TNC Pro Team. Who's suddenly surprised.
Lord JM, he tried to get away, couldn't find a bush. Kelra gets him.
And now TNC have to play from the back. Or will ONIC actually just try to end with this lone minion wave against Agatas Gacha? Gozen and Lancey will be back in time.
It's an end angle. Literally Yaoi versus the world. They penetrate through mid. King Kong sent over to deal with the Lord alone. And ONIC PA is just going for insurance.
And that's what I'm saying. You know, this is a showcase that even so, ONIC Philippines will find different ways to approach these team fights. I mean, think about it. They popped that conceal, they went around the corner, they caused some chaos against a lineup like this from TNC, and they end up still protecting Kelra. Like, looking at this replay, look at the positioning. Kelra's able to be okay, even though in between Lord JM and Kozin, and they still survive. So he joins this fight, pops off a couple shots, and catches Zaida here at the end. So with that, they get the Lord, they get that one turret, and now they get prepped and ready to approach the base of TNC.
We've always talked about how ONIC PH, suddenly it feels like they're coming from, or at least Kelra, King Kong, Kirk, usually those three coming from all angles. That was literally the entire team coming from every direction possible in the game.
Oh, and at this point, once again, Brusco using that conceal ready. The turrets are going to go down. Still the top is up. That second tier finally falling. The Lord's cleared out, though, so TNC, can they stay in this game? Yaoi will go ahead and charge on up the Unbreakable. They're going to clear these waves. Better airstrike.
Reggie says the answer. Cancelled AOG, revitalized by Yaoi. Catches Brusco and Kirk. Vengeance already in the SOD. Kozin takes it point blank. Kelra takes down Yaoi. That's a man down for TNC. Finally, the last inhibitor falls. TNC just a bare base left.
Kirk actually got to block a really good SOD angle. Since Kirk blocked it, Kozin couldn't find the perfect gag angle for his ultimate.
King Kong catches a few beads from TNC, pushed them out, cleared. The Phoenix army lives on another day.
Okay, TNC will actually stay in the game despite losing all the turrets, though. They still have some fight in them. Waves pushing up on top and bottom. Are they actually going to still go for the end angle here?
The Super Fam is relentless. They want to end it. Feathered airstrike by Super Prince. Look at the back line. Scrambled. Lancey trying to go up against the guy in the gold lane. Kelra does call the shot. Kozin comes in. The wind of nature. Not enough for Kelra to survive the shutdown. 11 kills worth of gold. Zaida taken out by King Kong. The fight continues. 2 for 1. The current trade. Lancey's down. Yaoi fighting for his life will not work out. 3 for 1. This is still an end angle. Lord Jamin and Kozin left.
They're going to have to keep it together here. It's only 2 versus the 4.
Kozin gets jumped in on by Brusco. Strike served up with a few salvos of Super Prince's feathered airstrike. The base still left standing. There's one siege minion. The base is going to fall. ONIC Philippines takes game 1.
You can't count it out, though. ONIC Philippines is super fam. The world champs will take it game number 1. But man, what a performance, though, from TNC there in game 1.
Yeah, they showed up, but it seems like with every time we saw TNC do something great and make us think, whoa, can they actually do this against ONIC PH? ONIC PH reminded who the hell they are.
Ooh, man. I was holding my breath there at the end because even with Koz in there, I feel like him alone, the decisions he made with the SOD on some of those moments and some of those angles, hats off to him, man, to be able to go and try to do that too against a team like this. And I don't know, I have that same feeling now, Redmar. You know, there's still that fire burning in me for TNC here.
Right, there's something bubbling up in there.
It's a roller coaster of emotions. That one last sequence alone, in the final minute of the game, you could have sworn maybe TNC can do it.
Yeah. I think what got them, though, was what I thought was going to be a good play, but it turned out all against them. It was the diversion. They decided to supplement what Kozin did against Keller. It's like, our Moskov needs help. If the Moskov didn't have the blink to be able to get closer to the base, it would have been good that they decided to diversion that deep. But I think the diversion was just a little bit too far from safety.
Yeah.
And it was in the middle of the entire line of ONIC PH, ready to answer it, ready to help Kelra.
Speaking of Kelra, MVP of the game, 11-1-2. And he got a little spicy there at the end too, but great performance for the Granger.
I get it though. If what TNC was thinking was to take down the MVP, this young man right here, it would have been worth it. But that's the danger of it all. You committed that many resources to just take down one hero.
Yeah.
It eventually became a 1-for-3, and you're already losing the trade.
Yeah, I think if they held on to that diversion, they already would have gotten that kill onto Kelra.
Eventually,
But again, you can't fault it. It's such a tough call to make in that scenario. It's just also very unfortunate that typical ONIC PH things, they were ready to respond. And if you look at the MVP highlights of Keller here, that's his theme for this game. He's ready to respond. You bring my frontliner down, but I got the info that you're low. I'm ready to toss my Death Sonata, rinse and repeat.
And that was that angle we were talking about too, you know, how he lines up some of these shots with a Death Sonata. And again, it was really just the approach that ONIC Philippines took as a team. How they adapted it throughout this game is really what stood out to me. And, you know, like you mentioned too, the usage of that diversion plays a big part in what TNC was able to do. I think even at that last one that you guys were mentioning, it was unfortunate because of the fact that Yaoi was also too far away from the team when that was sent through. So then they couldn't have the proper follow-up that they were looking for. But there's some phenomenal team fights here, man. I mean, from both sides through the entirety of the game.
They decided to double tap Keller. I think that's one of the main issues. If it all just came down to that last team fight and they just, you know, said, Keller's going to die anyways, let's go for something else.
Yeah.
Then maybe we have see, look.
Yeah. This is that one, yeah, right here. See, Yaoi gets cut off.
Oh, this is
too.
post sequence. This is post sequence.
That was the diversion. Like at that point, Kozin was fine.
Yeah.
But again, that's a really tough call to make in that scenario.
Split
the timings
second.
were so tight. It's split second. If I was TNC, not gonna lie, I probably would have made that call too, to just go, you know, let's go diversion. It looks like they're split, but ONIC PH were not split. The bulk of them were where that diversion landed.
That is Schrodinger's split.
Yeah.
It's split, but it's not.
Yeah. Up until you actually see it happen.
Yeah, and this is, again, I just want to go ahead and say, like, this is TNC, a team that maybe a lot of people don't have that much expectation for so far, but this showing in game one on how they could come together, especially at the end of that game, shows a lot in what the potential for them to be. Again, you know, they did lose this game one. ONIC Philippines played their role to the T, and Kelra, they didn't have an answer really for Kelra.
One thing I really like that here is actually the build of Kirk. He went War Axe, Brute Force, and then those last three, Oracle's a usual go-to, but for him to go Blade Armor plus the Vengeance, that is one of the reasons why Kozin was kind of like annoyed with this CC, even though he had a very good KDA. And he also decided to go for the Sea Halberd. He knew just how much damage he could do as the CC, with how tanky CC is, actually quite deceptively tanky. It felt like the Master Assassin emblem was a foreshadowing, because this CC was played like an assassin in some regards.
He put blades on his yo-yos.
Yeah.
It could have been a dominance ice, folks. That's the logic here. You usually build defense on the CC, but he said, no, I'm going for the throne. I want to end this quick. So he gave even Lord JM something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that double, I mean, with the Vengeance plus the Blade Armor, and then the Master Assassin, like, that's actually quite a bit of damage back to you.
Yeah, and Kirk understood his positioning. Again, there was one siege that when Yawi decided to AOG, and it was, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, when Yawi decided to AOG and he got Brusco, actually the SOD that Kozen threw was blocked by Kirk. If that didn't get blocked, it would have hit an angle wherein the ONIC Philippines would have gotten sandwiched by members of TNC Pro Team, because now you have a Moskov close to your back line and everyone else is still marching forward. So it just adds again to the idea of ONIC PH just know where they need to be at exactly the right time.
Yeah, a lot of the positioning is actually for, as much as if I'm not casting the games, when I do get to watch ONIC Philippines, I just look at the positioning, not just for Kelra, but like as the team, you know, because each one of them are just it seems like they're just in the right place, always at the right time, you know, and that's especially hard to do against a lineup that has a Louis Yi. That's meant to kind of like throw you off, you know, on your positioning. So great response there, like I said, from ONIC Philippines, but TNC, I like what they showed.
They tried the Louis Yi against the Louis Yi.
They did.
Yeah.
But I mean, even in the draft, like that was a good snag. You know, take it away from Super Prince.
Yeah. And I don't know why, but I can't go. I keep coming back to Kozen here. I was really impressed by how he decided to play this. I thought he had more deaths, but 612, that was crazy.
Yeah. Well, also, guys, we have a little video for you guys for Golden Month. We'll explain it after this.
Hello, MPL fans! Thank you. Maraming salamat sa mainit yung pagtanggap sa akin dito sa MLBB community ngayong Golden Month. Thank you. Kamsahamnida! Pero syempre, hindi pa tapos ang mga pasabog dahil simula bukas, may sorpresang hatid ang Golden Month para sa inyo, sa lahat ng mga nanonood ng MPL Season 15 live sa Green Sun Hotel. Sosyal! At ang kailangan nyo lamang gawin is manood, sumayaw, makisali, at masorpresa. Again, manood, sumayaw, makisali, at masorpresa. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, bibili na ako ng ticket sa ph-mpl.com/tickets dahil marami pang pasabog and surprises and prizes ang naghihintay sa inyo ngayong Golden Month. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, tututok lang ako sa MPL PH.
All right, so I'm going to ask the question on behalf of our international viewers. Who is that and what is Golden Month?
Well, to keep it short, she's very famous here, and we're giving away a lot of stuff for March. That's MLBB for you.
For those wondering, that is a former Pinoy Big Brother star and comedian and vlogger and actress.
Everything.
Melay Francisco now. She's also married to an actor, so
yeah.
She's...
And they're giving stuff away, basically. So Golden Month for all of our viewers, and I'm sure even our international viewers, there's some way you can join.
Yeah. I'm actually not sure if it's a Philippines thing, but definitely we could say if you're in the Philippines and you play a lot of MLBB, there's a high chance if you just log in every day and play the game, you win stuff. And I'm not just saying like the typical, oh, stickers, recalls, all that. Actual physical stuff, potentially, maybe, if you participate.
Good things. So, you know, if you're in the Philippines, go ahead and join us for Golden Month. And now, again, going to the matchup here. I don't know, man. I know first series, I was like, I wasn't expecting the sweep. This one, before we just saw this, I was like, yeah, this might be a sweep. But I think this one, again, for TNC, I still believe that they can actually take a game. I think they can, but looking at this, by the way, can they take a game against a team that has a marching band?
It's not just a marching band. It's a Sonic Republic.
It's a Sonic Republic marching band.
The marching band is a sub-unit of the Republic.
Of the Republic.
It is a full-on, just short of being a just country.
No, one thing I gotta say is like, for MPL Indonesia fans and for our Indonesian brothers and sisters,
Looks familiar.
This is a common sight for them, so it's good to see that we have that now here too at home. They got flares?
They got flares?
Oh, they got flares?
They get road clearance for that? What the? Are you talking to government, local government unit of Makati City to do this?
That's cool. I wish we were part of that, man. That looks a lot. That looks like a lot of fun.
They actually stopped traffic, by the way. So that was the use of the flare. Like they held the traffic there for that.
No one will pass through this street so that we can celebrate our world champions.
I wish that we had footage of people getting out of their cars and like dancing along with.
Yeah. Just like, what's going on? Cool.
Just keep it going. You know?
I don't think that's how it works in real life. Someone would have gotten out of their car and terrifyingly mad.
Oh man, brings me back to one of these commercials I did way back where I had to be one of those people that get out of car and dance.
Oh, you broke.
Hold up, family.
I'm dealing with so much stimuli right now.
Let's go ahead. All right.
No. Someone needs to look for that. Someone needs to find a video of a commercial that was in the States or in the Philippines.
I'll give you a hint. It was called Jump In. It was a song. It was a music video.
All right. Someone's got to look for that.
A music
Nice
video
was in a music video.
to a song called Jump In, and give us the time
She's
stamp.
a Filipino artist.
Oh, from a Filipino artist.
I think her name's Sanchez, something Sanchez,
Jessica Sanchez.
Yeah.
So it's getting so much easier then.
Those are a lot of hints, but here's the hint. TNC picks blue.
Oh, okay.
So the meta does dictate that blue is strong.
Yeah. I'm still going to lean towards the idea that maybe down the line, like once they understand the meta a little bit more, we'll see more just red side pryos. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with just if Suyo's open for you, you pick Suyo. If Joy's open for you, you go ahead and pick Joy in the first pick blue side. It's like there's nothing wrong with prioritizing and rushing those two. If you want to be spicy and surprise, if Joy's off the table, you can Grange your first pick. If you really want to be spicy, you go Harith first pick.
Something tells me the Joy first pick is a very specific ONIC thing.
Yeah, I feel like they're one of the probably like in my memory like the only team or maybe one of two teams
who puts
that
more
does it.
stock in the Joy.
Yeah.
And that's just like such a King Kong thing in general, you know, to be able to go ahead. I think he loves to be able to have that ability to move so quickly.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, Joy's probably one of the fastest heroes, you know, to be able to like have that mobility, that type of mobility, but also just to be able to pump out enough damage too, because that's the thing, you know, her damage profile is great.
Now as we look at Brusco, played his first Cali game in MPL PH after winning M6 with an 86% win rate in 7 games with the hero. Yeah, actually looking back, back in MPL Philippines Season 14, yeah, that was one of the main picks that really just made us go, wow, Khalid, really? And then Brusco made his name. With that hero, alongside, of course, they got the Kacha. At that time, they were still flexing Edith as Rome EXP.
You know what I miss?
What do you miss?
ONIC PH flexing Alpha. If you'll remember, here in this very arena,
XP.
about
XP
4
Alpha.
or 5 months ago, they brought out the Alpha, and I could have sworn I was on camera and I was on broadcast. Like, there's no way this works.
And it worked.
It did.
I feel like in a way they limit test themselves.
If I'm not mistaken, it didn't work in that game where you called this won't work. Then it worked after that, right?
In the hands of ONIC.
In the hands of ONIC,
They played it as a very specific... I talked to Coach Tony after. Like, Coach Tony, I have a lot of explaining to do. My integrity as a broadcaster and analyst of MLBB is on the line. I did say, like, there's no way this is right. He was like, this was during the heyday of Phovius.
Right.
He was like, oh, Leo, it's because it's a good answer to Phovius in the XP. And it was! And then it solved itself.
Oh yeah, that's why we saw that whole like Alpha Jungle Prio also.
Because it evolved from that.
Yeah, it evolved from that. Yeah. Okay.
That's cool. I don't know. I
miss that on
I was gonna say I don't miss Alpha.
Why not? Alpha's great.
I don't know. When I think of Alpha, I have like as a half American, I have flashbacks of M6.
Okay. Going this away.
Yeah.
Going not the way that he wanted to. That's not the spirit of Alpha I know.
I hate it so much, mainly because it works the opposite way as the Ruby DD. Ruby DD is amazing.
Yeah.
It's a move that you do with the Lunox.
Yeah.
But whenever it happens to me in game, and people who watch my stream know this, oh no, I pulled the Mobazane because I fear of Alpha backwards. I don't know that it's a quirk for the ult. I don't think it's a bug that's meant to be. It's just a thing that happens.
It's just something that happens.
Yeah, I think a lot of Alpha players can relate to that moment. Also, where it's like, when I saw a player again, my initial reaction was like, what the heck is happening? And then I run it back. It's like, yeah, I felt that. more than
It
10
happens.
times
It
in
happens,
my entire
yeah.
life playing Alpha.
Yeah, I pulled him over Zane. Back to streaming, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's back.
Yeah.
Oh, good to see him.
And he's doing great. Like, again, just to answer all of the inquiries and to dash all doubts, he literally was just taking a break.
I feel like everybody,
for
you know,
him.
kind of went through that. Even like Yawi here, you know.
Here we go.
I'm sure he's went through it. Now, he is the MPL PH player with the most games played on Cho. This is what we hinted at earlier. 44 games with a 54.55% win rate here, Redmark.
Yeah, and it's wild considering the significant amount of time he spent in Indonesia. No one has surpassed him yet in the usage of Cho.
He let dudes catch up, and he's still the #1 Cho.
Yeah, I think it stems also from his time in next play. But it's weird because during that time, they were flexing Cho. Sometimes we'd see Renegade go EXP
That's
Cho.
why it became a Renegade signature pick, too.
Yeah. So it's wild to see, though. When we said earlier, Yawi is Cho.
Yeah.
There,
He
that's
is.
it. That's a stat line for you.
And I would say, you know, even like for Renegade, he's known as like, you know, the hitman and everything else. And he's also one of those Filipino players that's well known for his Cho. But then there's just Yawi. Like Yawi's just on this other level right now. So I don't know. They were the ones that banned it out though in the previous game, right? So this time around, TNC is going to be on the blue side as we jump into the draft for game 2 here on Philippines on the red. Bans coming out. Not sure if much is going to change. That is the Moskov and the Ganacontra though being banned out this time around.
Oh, okay. They're respecting the Gato Prio that ONIC likes to go for. Let's see if we'll see Loi. I think Loi is one of the picks that we have to put focus on here with the Moskov getting taken out by ONIC PH. They still have a possibility to play that because that's sort of like a threat. When you ban out Moskov first phase, you're sort of telling a team, hey, watch out for us picking Lo Yi. Because when we take out the Moskov, that's one of the best heroes that could deal with a Lo Yi gone.
Which also opens up one of the most notorious heroes in the history of the game, Fanny. Fanny is still at large because of these whole Moskov bans.
Oh, banned out.
Oh, there
She's
she is.
banned
All
out,
right.
yeah, she's banned
Clean. Okay. Good. So that leaves the whole Joy Suyo situation.
TNC did respect the Lo Yi, actually.
Matilda was snubbed game 1.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about that.
It might be snubbed yet again.
Selena, though, that's open too.
It's open for now, anyway. It has come out with that last ban, but that's actually going to be the phobia. So this first pick, what's TNC do with having this blue side and this favorable pick?
Do they steal the Joy, or do they let that open too? They pick up the Eve.
I think they leave the Joy. I don't think TNC takes the Joy.
I think they'll go. I mean, Suyo's still up on the board. They can just, again, you can not go wrong with the Suyo pickup. But then you're giving the likes of again, Granger Jungle is still an option for ONIC PH after all this time somehow.
They did that against See You Soon
Yeah.
in SBS.
But that might be a little bit too risky. It might just end up becoming a Joy Suyo trade again, and then you'll see a Harith potentially for ONIC.
Oh, okay, Harith.
Ooh, okay, this I
You
like.
mentioned this earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one of the spicy picks, like if it's very open, like you just go Harith. So now it overloads ONIC with a choice of Suyo Joy. TNC will be left with one or the other.
And ONIC doesn't have to rush the Granger.
Exactly. But I wouldn't like TNC to actually pair Joy and Harith together because that's an overload of magic damage.
Yeah. And then,
So ONIC goes Suyo X.
Yeah.
Then make my day.
Yeah.
Suyo Yue? Suyo Yue. Suyo Eve?
Suya Eve, yeah.
If you look at Eve the right way, it does say Yue.
There's Suya.
There's one pick that I want to see TNC consider in this first phase.
Oh.
They go ahead and rush it.
They showed the stat and Brusco was like, nah.
That doesn't sit well with me, coach.
I think here they have to consider the likes of Eve, Khalid, and I want them to consider Nolan actually in the jungle instead of a Joy, because up against that Cho, I wouldn't like it very much. Joy needs to stay a little bit longer to make her electrifying beats work, while Nolan is literally, burst, I'm out of here.
Or better yet, just a Haya.
Haya.
It's safer. You're not even on the map for the Cho to kick.
Well, we do see Cho get picked up once there is a Haya on the other side. They might be leaning a little bit more towards Haya though, yeah. Oh, they go Alpha. We were just talking about it. And they go Alpha Matilda.
And Matilda.
Great
classic.
Great first half for TNC. We were looking for it earlier. Here it is.
Classic combo.
Much
Matilda
better.
Alpha.
Much better start for TNC, I'll say.
Yeah, I like
you
this.
hate the Alpha.
Yeah, so I like the combo. I've seen enough of Alpha, even though he's my second most played hero.
Alpha Dog 360.
Alpha Dog 360. You do tune in.
I know. All right, so ONIC has to pick a mid laner here. And they don't. All right, the Granger's still open.
Yeah.
All right, so, man, for instance, hero pool, he don't care.
This is dive versus reach. TNC definitely. Actually, you know what?
Among the planes.
No, ONIC are the ones that take out the Eve.
I was thinking TNC.
Wow.
I thought TNC would. I think Super Prince just probably wants Valentina.
Yeah.
Like he probably wants Valentina, or if
I don't think there's enough on the board to steal yet.
I don't. Maybe Super Prince just he'll take it anyway. You know, comeback season Koeto, he says. Okay, wait, hold on. This is actually this is all in Tagalog. I got this, guys.
Go ahead.
Yawi via All-Star Magazine. Comeback season Koeto, he says. Sobrang daming nagdadao sa akin. Kaya mas namamotivate akong patudunan yung sarili ko.
All right, to be fair,
was that close?
The major beats are in English.
Yeah.
So it's his comeback season. A lot of people are doubting him, and that makes it all the more way of motivating himself.
All right.
To prove that the haters are wrong.
Yeah, haters are wrong, man.
That's it.
I love it.
More
power,
Selena
Tristan.
gone.
There's Selena.
It's either Aurora, Vixana. The three majors I'm looking for are Aurora, Vixana, Sicilian. And I think that Sicilian would slot in so well with TNC Pro Team's Alpha, Matilda, Harith all together. They have the true damage and overload of magic. They'll need the... they'll be lacking physical on the XP.
You know what's risky? If it's a Sicilian, since TNC is already looking like a dive comp, Sicilian has a dead zone in front of him, so I wouldn't.
No, I mean, TNC are... Oh, for ONIC not to pick the Sicilian. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So that means TNC will get the Sicilian plus what? Fovi? Oh, no, Fovi's gone.
Lucas is still open.
Lucas, yeah.
Lucas.
Oh, Lucas, Sicilian, and TNC would be so aggro.
So good.
If they want a bit of... Oh, they take it still.
They don't care about the dead zone.
Super Fritz
it's
doesn't
Super
care.
Fritz. He's gonna sidestep everything.
Okay, Barrett's.
Ooh.
XP Barats?
Yeah, this is an XP Barrett's.
Imagine they swing the Alpha, though, and it was like Jungle Barrett's, like we throw it back.
What's in mid?
Right? What's this mid play gonna be?
I think they'll just Farsa.
Lanes against Sicilian. Yeah.
Yeah, you need reach anyway.
That's right. You need to go toe-to-toe, range for range.
Novaria. They don't need heavy magic damage. The vision, the slow, they already have the Harith for the heavy magic damage.
Right.
Isn't that such a Lancey pick, too?
Yeah.
Oh,
dang it.
I mean, dive is dive.
Oh, dang it.
So you needed to play in that space. The Novaria would have been weird. As much of a utility pick as it is, and specialty for Lancey.
Oh, dang.
ONIC closes strong with a specialty for Kirk.
Yeah, that's
Kirk
a
special.
That's a signature, man.
When you say Edith, it's him and Edward.
I was gonna say, yeah, him and Edward. I still think, with this lineup for TNC, I like the concept of it. I like what they are bringing to it, but maybe the Aurora is part of the answer, too, to kind of go ahead and work on catching Kelra, because I feel like that was, some of the difficulty they had. Or maybe it's also just a good answer just in case they get caught by a Claws, for example, or they get kicked. They can force that fight by just locking them down with the Aurora kit.
Yeah, no, I totally see that happening, and I agree. I think that's what they were looking for when they picked up the Aurora. The Barretts, I think, is going to be the biggest question here, because this is very timing-based. This lineup puts a lot of pressure on the three players all together, the Matilda, the Alpha, and the Barretts together. They need to weave in and out and well.
See if they can weave it, make it work, take it to a game 3. That'd be something that a lot of people might not expect from TNC. Can they make it happen here in game number 2 against ONIC Philippines? And again, even with the setup, it's funny how we were just talking about the Alpha, and now he comes through for Zaida here. This matchup too, the Alpha versus the Suyo, he's gonna have to make it work, but at least in this way, they have a ton of utility this time for TNC to go ahead and play around with, other than just the diversion.
Which I think is something we've failed to mention. The damage profile on TNC is so odd. If Kozen's not ready,
Yeah.
Who's dealing the damage?
Yeah. Yawi on the Matilda, maybe. And, you know, like, at that point, that's a good question to ask here on how they approach the game, especially in the early game, because of the fact, too, if Kozin ends up getting behind against this matchup, the Granger versus the Harith, he's going to have some trouble, and he's really going to have to rely on Yawi to help him out, probably.
Yeah, again, a lot of pressure on the ones that we mentioned. Lansing really needs to be hitting those glaciers. And most importantly, the closest thing they have to the potential where's the damage coming from, the answer to it is it's Zyda. It has to be that Alpha. But then the Alpha will have to put himself in such dangerous situations with a Sicilian that you won't be able to reach, a Granger you can't reach. Okay, let's take out the gold laner first. But just up against the other 4 heroes on the side of ONIC, that's a tough dance to dance for an Alpha.
Even against Kirk, who has like 1 or 2 items, and once he presses the Primal Wrath, Alpha might even have to say, guiding wins!
Yeah, it's like, Zyda might actually have to hold on to his Spear of Alpha, so he just has an option to out if in case he needs it.
Oh, look how fast his turtle's going here.
Ooh.
They actually contest.
TNC taking it clean. Zyda scores, looking to punish one. Super Prince bites it.
Good play. They get a turtle. They get a kill to go ahead and work around.
Oh.
King Kong just finding else on the map.
Yeah, he stole the orange buff, so that's a trade they decided to go for. They know that they lose against the level 4 of the Barretts in the first objective, so they decided, you know what, let's just get vision here. They were able to spot out Super Frizz, took him down, but they lost their orange buff, and that's where the deficit gets balanced out.
That is advanced thinking by the Beast, the Sigma King. He's done this like what?
Yeah.
Dozens of times, hundreds of times. Like this is the signature response for ONIC when they don't have an initiative.
And this is what I was saying in the previous game. You know, every time they seems like they're going to lose, mostly an objective, they're finding something elsewhere across the map, and that's why that macro play style from ONIC Philippines has been so prevalent for a lot of the competitions they've been in, a lot of teams that have been studying them, is, you know, replicating that movement from them. So it does look like they are the ones going with the troubleshooting here. So a couple minutes hopefully and we're back into the game. But I would say, you know, even for TNC at least, this way, with this kind of lineup, you can actually play pretty well with the fact that you have a Matilda, right? But I'm wondering, because when was the last time maybe we saw Yawi play a Matilda? I know at least, is this one of his picks that he can actually have that playstyle with? Or is it more just, I'm going to be that utility guy, I'm going to get my people out of the sticky situations and work from there?
Forever. It's been about forever since we saw Yawi on Matilda.
A few games here and there in Indonesia from time to time. Back when he was, I think his name was, at that time, King Gugun. I remember I liked their combo when it was a Matilda Barretts that they pulled off. There would be times also when Iran would be playing the Barretts and the EXP. Actually, no, wait. Is Yawi just playing some of Aura and Liquid's greatest hits? That's just a thought that struck me right now. It's like, because we were thinking like, oh, it's very ONIC coded, right? Sort of like TLID Arki Hoshi.
This ain't working. Let's run it back.
Yeah, now I'm just feeling like, is this TLID in the Philippines? What's going on?
But again, you're taking something that worked prior and then running it back. There's a reason why things are great in their context.
Yes.
I don't think it's a good idea. Well, so far it is, right? So far, they scored a turtle, they drew first blood.
Yeah.
Who am I to say it's a bad idea?
The only thing that is a bad idea for TNC in this one, I feel like, or one of the big bad ideas, is letting the game get too long. Because you got a Sicilian, man. Like, you got that. But also, if Kelra just does what he did last time.
You got double stacking heroes as cores. Punish them.
Yeah.
That's one way to win, yes.
Hopefully they're able to go ahead and execute that. We'll see. It looks like they're ready. Nearly ready to jump back. There it is. There's the signal.
Sant, do it, Sant!
There it is. Man, his form has really been refined since last season.
Bit of hesitation there at the beginning, though. He was second-guessing himself if it was time to go, but I'm glad he still got it down.
Okay, jumping back into the game again. If you're just joining us, that first turtle and first blood secured and taken by TNC. And, you know, not only do the factors they have this tons of utility with the Matilda pick, but they also are still able to go ahead and run with the 2 Purifies to help them with, you know, some of the CC that's going to be thrown at them with ONIC Philippines' lineup. They're rotating around.
All right, that's a little under
oh,
score.
whoa.
Lord JM misses.
Oh.
The Dennis Welcome finds a missile expert, though. King Kong is going to go down. Zyda gets the kill. And there's nothing on the board for ONIC just yet. Ooh. I was going to say, isn't it ridiculous that the team who is facing against the CC of TNC, or of this lineup, doesn't have Purify? Look at ONIC. No respect to the CC.
This is what I call athleticism, man. Like, athletic flickers.
Yeah.
Nah, I'd win.
Yeah, that's like pure reaction. I think there's a window of time where you can react to flickering away from the ultimate of the Aurora, similarly to the Barretts, although I think the Barretts would be a little bit harder to pull off.
Spear of Alpha.
Yeah, Spear of Alpha is their biggest problem, though. That's the one, like, if you're stuck in there, you're stuck. You cannot get out of it.
There's a lot of CC that I'm just thinking maybe ONIC could have respected a little more. But who am I to say? These are world champions, right? I'm just a dude staring at a screen screaming.
You're just a guy. At this point, though, too.
Oh.
Already early poke. This is what we expect, though, especially with the Sicilian. It's only going to get worse as the game goes on. But TNC is in a position to go ahead and try to just secure the second turtle. They might be able to just go ahead and grab it by zoning off ONIC, and it looks like that's going to happen. But look at this, too. As Zyda secures that, there's a wave cut up top. Kirk might have to get back. There's going to be a quick response.
First time it happened,
TNC.
King Kong stole an orange. Now he was forced to stay on his side of the map. So, yeah, deep cut by Kirk, but TNC can respond to it just as quickly. What's crazy is what gasps me, all right, is the fact that the gold lead ain't that big. How is how is ONIC keeping it tight like this?
How many times have we asked this question about ONIC? Again, they just get resources somehow from minion waves, those little compounding steals of the jungle creeps, whether it's the lizards or the golems. That's just it.
And they're taking the first turret of the game.
They get that turret just like that, too.
What?
Again, it was all a timing thing there. You know, Kozin does get a start on the side here. They want to go ahead and trade. They're going to take this tier 1 on the bottom side. But that's the thing. It is a good thing to kind of keep attention to for ONIC Philippines. Even though it might look like, yeah, objectively they're losing this or they're losing that turtle, but they're still able to keep things even in terms of economy. And all the while, like we said, Super France is just going to be stacking up, doing his thing on the Sicilian.
Despite the Barretts also showing how much damage it would take, good emblem adjustments by ONIC Philippines. They actually are packing Ruptures on Super France and Kelra, so that's mainly really just to answer the Barretts. Other than that, TNC, at some point they're going to have to translate them winning objectives into more objectives. Get turrets down. Right now, the minion waves are strangely enough, getting manipulated by ONIC PH. TNC have only traded the sides, but you'd think at some point they'd be able to get the mid lane if they play their cards right in this third turtle or on the first lord.
Oh, Kirk spotted by 2. Zaman Force committed here by Kozin. Primal Rat by Kurt. Blasting away. In comes Super Prince. Pops the ult as well. No one hit by the Frigid Glacier. Brusco backs off. The respect to the firepower of ONIC PH. Still, TNC happy with their kill.
Happy with their kill, but they might look for more Brusco. Oh, not going to land the kick he was looking for in that angle. So that's 3 for 3 for Turtles for TNC here.
Wow, a great play right now by TNC. See, okay, one of the questions answered as to why ONIC have minimized the gap in the gold is that every time a sequence is about to happen around an objective, King Kong is somewhere else and he's farming, either clearing minion waves or stealing the jungles as we mentioned. Now TNC, we got what we asked for earlier, convert a turtle, a win, a fight into an objective. They got the turret down, the second one in the bottom lane. So now TNC can be poised to, in this next Lord, I want to see them commit a 4-1 split, typically to how ONIC do it. Try to get that mid lane tower down, threaten the lower portion of the map, while you just play around the objective, try to bait out abilities, and then that's when Lord JM goes with the late usage of the Detonus Welcome.
This is very Filipino. Approaching the 8-minute mark and there's only 3 kills.
Yep.
It's very Filipino.
Bro, we are so back.
We're so back. You know what? But the thing that stands out here, too, is 2 big items being picked up for ONIC Philippines. That was the Sky Piercer last picked up for Kelra, and then the glowing one now for Super Prince. And that's going to help with some of that sustainability because, as I say it, there's the total healing done right now from the lineup for TNC. So, you know, if they take a couple shots from Super Prince, that's going to help, you know, bring that down a little bit. And that's why I'm saying TNC, it's great they have this control in this portion of the game, but hopefully they can continue on, get this Lord, and then transition to actually marching towards ONIC Philippines' base.
Look at King Kong escorting a chubby wave up top. I mean, if they knew exactly where Zyda was, maybe he would have committed, but they're taking it slow. They're working on the safe lane here that's closer to the Lord. So ONIC might be thinking to contest.
With how TNC right now are formed up in the map. Okay, so they are doing what we said that they should, but what they gave up was actually control around the objective. Now ONIC are holding the priority shrubs for this Lord. They're forcing counter to react bottom. Oh! They caught Prince!
Oh, the jump in by TNC, and they're looking to find a vengeance kill onto Lord JM. Not gonna happen as TNC collapse onto this Lord at half health now. Yawi pushing back the rest of ONIC Philippines, and that's the Phoenix Army scoring a major objective.
There you go, TNC. Lord JM's been on point. I mean, utilizing the flicker with the Daytona's welcome to find those key pickoffs.
Feed him more.
Wow, I'm so glad that actually Lord JM got that, because that's the opener they needed. Again, ONIC PH had the positional advantage. But whether it was Lord JM's call or TNC's call, let's just say it's a TNC call, to commit the flicker Detonus welcome to catch Super Prince, it showed. ONIC PH were so hesitant to even show themselves, because even though the Detonus welcome was gone, one of their biggest deterrents, their biggest tools in the team fight, the Sicilian was taken out.
And you know, at this point they'll go ahead and just try to clear things up, hold things together the best they can, just try to secure these buffs as well, but they're gonna have to deal with the Lord eventually. And so right now TNC playing in their favor, playing in the momentum. They want to go ahead and march down at least the mid lane, get some of these shields popped if they can. Mid lane, adding wind, certainly Eagle used, but they get that turret down, still trying to march in with this Lord. The goal is right now just those shields, honestly, for TNC at this point.
Holy shields, I'd say, are minor objectives. Again, a confirmed wave clear. And talking about wave clear, look how Kirk just commits the Primal Wrath. We need to get rid of this Lord ASAP.
Called there by ONIC PH. This will help them out in the defense. Poke damage not quite there just yet for ONIC Philippines.
Holy shields up top!
So TNC Pro Team will be controlling.
They got one.
The tempo. Yeah, that's one.
There's about a minute and a half that they could use it.
They got two.
Oh yeah, they
just one.
They got the bottom one, right?
The bottom one.
Bottom pop.
Yeah, bottom pop.
Okay. Well, TNC, this is great for them still, because they're continuing to build up on the lead that they have. But I'm just wondering, right, at some point, will this turn in favor of ONIC Philippines? Because if they just buy themselves, some time even into the next Lord or past that, we always know whenever a Sicilian is on a team, I mean, we saw this even back in M6, man, the amount of defenses based around this hero alone, the Sicilian, can win games.
They're taking time bomb.
There's the stacks right there.
So it's at 169, 170 something now.
Yeah.
Again, the double stack hero is currently, you know, biting ONIC in the behind.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. Usually the main goal for Sicilians is to reach 210 or 211.
Yeah.
He'll be able to get there maybe at around 13 minutes. It won't take that long. But one of the main conditions also is that Super Prince needs to be on his third item. Once he's locked his third major item in, that's when TNC is going to start feeling, okay, this Sicilian is a problem. But up until that point, TNC will be in control comfortably as long as they don't mess something up.
And this is why still the amount of utility that TNC's lineup gives them is such an advantage. And it's funny because I was thinking when the game started, you know, for Lord JM that he would rely heavily on Guiding Wind to set things up, but he hasn't really needed it. He's just flickered a lot of them. So the fight for this Lord is going to break out. I'm wondering, will ONIC Philippines be able to contest this?
Ain't no dance here as TNC is fully committed. In comes another Detonus welcome with a flicker. Cancelled though, Lord JM still standing, but just barely. Summon Force sent in by Kozen. Lancey very low. Kirk taken down by Zyda in the back line. And this does delay the Lord take, but they do bite one. Away the dragon by Brusco. Kick in, Lord JM in, but not going to end the job. Zyda survives. No one taken by ONIC. Clean for TNC.
We talked about pressure onto Lord JM, Yawi, and Zyda to make the core of this lineup work. screw pressure. They are making this work. Lord JM's decision making to enter. Yawi being able to time the guiding winds to supplement the shields. He saved Zyda in that scenario, and Zyda is still deathless at 3-0-1.
I can't believe, even with a Sea Halberd, a glowing wand over here from ONIC Philippines, the sustainability, the healing was just too much for TNC to go ahead and just win those fights. We're going to take a look at the replay here in just a second as they get ready to march in. And this fight was great. Even that Zaman force enough to help zone out a little bit. There's the kick from Brusco. And then a look at that. Again, utilizing the utility and heals that TNC has with this lineup.
Yeah, the raw sustain right now of the Barretts and Matilda together are holding down the front line of TNC Pro Team. And at the same time, Lancey has been on point with his follow-ups, dishing the crowd control that he needs to dish. What we talked about earlier in terms of Brusco's entries getting just checked by the Aurora, that's been happening. And it's not just actually Brusco's entries, it's ONIC, it's their entire entry that's getting dealt with.
It's not giving, is what the kids would say.
Yeah, it's not giving.
Feigned circling eagle there by Yawi, force and response from ONIC. Tier 3 taken down in mid. King Kong and the rest of ONIC just scrambling to protect what's left of their base. The Lord left standing. The rest of the waves, though, taken care of. ONIC lives another day.
Another update for Prince Watch. He just built up the Magic Lantern. Still going to be lacking in the damage department. They really need him on that third core item, and then that's when TNC is going to start feeling the pain. But will we even get there is the main question right now. Super Prince does have the most damage dealt, but once that number reaches like around 40k, that's when things have gone wrong for TNC.
Yeah. Oh, Lancey.
Oh, what?
Oh, drops in a Frigid Glacier. Kozin also commits his old Zaman Force underneath the tier 3, but ONIC ain't having any of it. Concealed play coming in, Brusco and Kirk. Frontliners for ONIC looking for some prey. Lets them go. TNC plays a conservative game, pressuring ONIC elsewhere.
That was really spicy, man. You know, from Lancey to go ahead and flicker forward for that. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to catch anyone from ONIC Philippines the way that he wanted to. But that is showcasing how confident TNC is feeling right now. You know, 6,000 gold ahead at this point. Mind you, when was the last time we saw ONIC Philippines without any kills up to this point in their previous winning games or even matches in general?
I can't remember. Yeah. Even if this is a very Filipino game, I can't remember the last time ONIC was up against the ropes like this.
If they egg ONIC, that's a statement. We said TNC winning a game is already going to be a statement. Yeah. If they take a game from ONIC, wherein ONIC got no kills at all, no major objectives, no Lord, no turtles, that's more than a statement. That's proof that you're ready for this season.
I would say they have finally served a dish. They've been cooking for a while, right?
Yeah.
If that happens here, again, it's not a series over just yet, but it would be great to get to a game number 3 in that sense for TNC.
If they end ONIC here after this Lord, it would be a spicy meatball. Lord down to 3/5 of its health. Brusco playing with range. King Kong and Kirk in the wings with Super Prince trying to get some stacks. Amazing wave management by TNC. They're denying these stacks from Super Prince, which makes this dance all the more interesting. Brusco finds one, kicks Lord JM. They're gonna blast the dinosaur. He adds to the Frigid Glacier. The Spear of Alpha taking down Brusco. He goes one man down from ONIC. TNC happy with that skirmish. They do send Lord JM back home.
Great Glacier there. Setting up, and again, it's been Brusco, and he's feeling that struggle on the toe now against this kind of lineup. That was a Divine Glaive also picked up now for Super Prince.
Third item.
They gotta wait for this though still, but this should be a Lord for TNC.
Yeah, with Roamer gone, it's gonna be tough for them to contest, but the defense right now actually should be great for ONIC Philippines. TNC will get this without a problem. Divine Glaive on Prince. Kelra is fully built as this Granger. If TNC can pull off this siege at that moment, that's it. If ONIC defends, that's going to be a shaky time for the Phoenix Army.
All right, it's one thing to counter blessings, but do note this is an enhanced Lord that will be crashing through mid. TNC, I think the play that's coming up next would be a surgical push through each inhibitor left, and then they might go for another. But yeah, the clock is ticking.
Yeah, it definitely is, because right now, you can see ONIC Philippines trying to scramble a little bit, you know, trying to cut some of the waves if they can, try to stall them out. But look at this heal, man, from Yawi with the Matilda. And this is why you guys mentioned in the draft, you're surprised Matilda was slept on for a little bit. Yawi, once again, leading the charge as this Lord comes into the mid lane.
Look at the damage on the Super Prince. That was just but a synchro vision from Kozen. Lord JM does not have a flicker, so ONIC will take care of that Lord, and the rest of the waves crash into top and bottom.
They're going to lose their bottom tower, but they defended this as well as they could. They're able to push back TNC at a crucial moment, and they keep one inhibitor turret standing.
Can they keep it actually here still? It looks like they are. They're doing their own charge up, you know, for ONIC Philippines. They know that time is technically still on their side the further they can bring this game, but right now they really haven't had an answer to TNC. Yeah. And even with that, you know, obviously it does get a little bit harder to get these stacks. He's at 290 now, working on that last item.
Yeah, that's good. One of the problem is Kozen's item build is fantastic. He went Bloodwing second to the last item, then Oracle as his final item, selling the boots. It's a barefoot Harith, but this will be a Harith that will just be packing shields non-stop paired up with a Matilda.
He chonky. Well, there is a Sea Halberd on Kelra, and there is the glowing wand on Cecilion on Super Prince. But yeah, no, I think Prince needs his Holy Crystal first, and then we can start talking.
Once he gets there, that's 100%. Yeah, TNC has to be so careful here. If this goes the classic TNC fashion of them in control of a game, then they slip right there at the end. That's just heartbreaking, man.
Big sads.
Big sads, yeah.
It will be, but it's almost, if it happens where ONIC Philippines is somehow able to turn this game around too, that's actually going to be quite the miracle with how far behind they've been.
Rogue wave in mid, what?
Rogue wave. It's pushing. Nah, it's going to be cleared.
Yeah, it's like one tiny minion.
It took down mid-tier 1, so in case ONIC somehow, I mean, they've done this before, finds an end angle for mid, that's less of a deterrent.
Minion waves right now being overwhelming for ONIC. They have really good wave clear. They have good base defense in terms of damage.
Oh, Prince picks up a Bloodwings. Insurance.
Yeah.
So he got blood. He still has a spot for one last item, I think, because he only had the
Elegant Gem.
The Elegant Gem,
He can sell it,
He'll
pick up
sell
a crystal.
Yeah.
And then Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, he's not going to full build that into COD at this point.
Yeah.
That's going to be a loss.
Yep.
He's going to be fine.
The damage profile on TNC, again, they've gone through that hurdle.
Yeah.
Oh, Yawi picking up the Holy Crystal here, so.
Oh, God.
All right.
Okay.
That's Yawi style right there, man.
Damage
Matilda.
Yeah, damage Matilda, but also gets to dish out more shielding as well. Good itemization across the board, actually, for TNC, but this Lord, whoever gets this might actually win the game.
That's right. Lord now reset here softly, fully now, down to, what, a fifth of its, 4/5 of its health. And King Kong and Kirk are blasting it.
Oh, they're going to
Primal
blast
Rat.
it.
Look at Lord JM trying to go for Prince and
They're just
Kelra.
going.
The kick by Brusco, they're distracted him. King Kong from underneath, TNC scores 1. Kirk flickers back. Circling Eagle lands, he gets popped by Super Prince. They trade 1 for 1.
Oh, from the back.
For mid.
It's a sandwich.
Look at the back line. The spin. The split. Oh, no. 3 for 1. Lord James gonna bite it.
What?
And it's a wipe outside, a standing, but just barely. Ladies and gentlemen, ONIC have done it again.
How did they do it? How, Renmar?
And it's a maniac for King Kong!
And the Lord too!
They were split up! They committed in helping Lord JM!
Look at the camera, they can't believe they did it!
They can't believe it themselves!
Classic TNC fashion, they had the game, they had the win, and it slipped from their hands, while ONIC has pulled magic out of their own hands as well!
Oh my goodness! It was so close.
The sweep! We could have sworn TNC were gonna make gods bleed, but the sweep by ONIC Philippines.
Oh, you can even see ONIC Philippines themselves as they cheer. Because, you know, I think even then they were like, man, what happened?
The commitment of Kirk and King Kong to just say, dude, let's just get this Lord, they're distracted. Did TNC not read it? They overcommitted in helping Lord JM and punishing.
That moment is the perfect time to play that clip from earlier tonight in the ping test. That's my brother! That's my teammate! That's my brother! That's both of them just going for it.
I was even surprised because I thought they saw Kirk and King Kong there.
And then it's TNC who went for the turn.
Yeah.
And I could have sworn that was a beneficial turn. But...
Man. And they just blitzed the Lord, and then they got cut off, they got confused in themselves, and then they got sandwiched.
ONIC PH sees the map in a different way.
Cozen's wearing that Rise from the Dead jacket from a few seasons back. ONIC PH are the ones that rose from the dead in this game.
What was that? A consistent 6K, 7K gold lead for the majority of 15 minutes. 0 kills on the board. And then a win from nowhere.
Still, props to TNC. Great showing in their first match against a team of the caliber that ONIC Philippines
Especially
is.
game 2.
Yes, especially game 2.
I wouldn't be surprised if this TNC squad eventually turns it around. Again, what happened there, that was just one wrong call at the wrong time.
There's time though.
There's time, but
100%
definitely
time.
it's still their time.
It's ONIC time.
It's ONIC time
ONIC
right
time.
now, with a little bit of ONIC magic.
Whole lot of potential there for that squad for TNC, and again, I think a lot of you probably even watching at home were just as surprised as us and everybody here in the MPL Philippines arena. So can't wait to hear what they have to say about that win for the sweep. Let's go ahead and throw it over on stage for the winner's interview with Hans and Oder.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a series it has been. Your winners, ONIC Philippines. Ibang klase. Kelra, nasa na yung mic natin? Kelra, sige. Ayan, tatabihan na lang. 7-0. Lugi kayo for almost 20 minutes ng 7-0. I wonder what's going through your mind. Ano ba nangyayari sa comms nyo during the time na sobrang dehado talaga kayo dun sa sitwasyon na yun?
Isa lang comms namin eh. Sabi namin, ultra kalmado lang.
Ano?
Ultra kalmado.
Ultra kalmado. Yun, mabuti na malinaw. And I also wanna know, kasi there are a lot of previous instances na parang sinasabi nila na meron daw talagang champion's curse. And you guys, you've competed in a lot of different tournaments. Gusto kong malaman, may tala ba ang champion's curse sa ONIC Philippines?
Tignan natin. Pero para sa amin, hindi namin iniisip yun eh. Iniisip pa rin namin yung laro lang namin. Hindi namin iniisip yung mga champion curse na.
At na-display nila yun kanina. Again, congratulations, Kelra.
Hanggat hindi tapos ang laban, ay talaga namang lumaban ng ONIC Philippines. At gusto ko rin makausap ngayon si Super Friends. Cecilion ang ginamit mo sa game number 2. Talaga bang pag Cecilion talab yung late game?
Opo. Talab talaga yun kasi depensa lang talaga.
Nakita namin yung fighting spirit niyo, especially doon sa 7-0 nga na standings niyo kanina. And sa previous season, tinawag ka ng Monster Mage as your moniker. Feel mo ba yun talaga ang nararapat sa iyong itawag? Monster Mage.
Feel mo ba? Deserve mo na yun sa ngayon?
Hindi pa.
Ano bang kailangan ni Super Friends para ma-feel mo na deserve mo na yun?
MSC.
MSC! Nako.
Mabuti ng malinaw. I just have one more question, alright? Or at least 2 more. Katabi naman na kita, Brusco eh. So ilalapit ko na sa'yo. Kanina, sinabi ni Yawi nung na-interview ko siya na ikaw talaga yung isa sa mga gusto niyang makalaban. I wanna know kung ano ba yung response mo ngayon na nagkatapat kayo. Anong masasabi mo sa kanya?
Follow pa rin, si Yawi.
Follow pa rin si
rin.
Yawi. Yun ang kanyang masasabi. Pero aside from Yawi, if you're looking at a different perspective, sino pa ba ang isa sa mga roamers this season na gusto mong makalaban?
May sinisigaw yung mga audience natin eh.
Sino?
Okay,
may naririnig tayong names. Brusco, sinong gusto mo makaharap? Grabe yung coaching, no? Ang tindi nung coaching.
Parang si Brusco mismo nako-confuse kung sino ba ang gusto niya makaharap.
Ito na yun. Rene J. Nabanggit na si Rene J. I wanna know why. Bakit si Rene J?
Para wala lang. Parang sa tingin ko si Rene J rin yung yun eh. Parang isa sa pinakamalakas magtangkain sa PH.
Alright.
And that says a lot about this team. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, your winners, ONIC Philippines! You may now take your walk of victory.
Congratulations! What a sweep for ONIC Philippines. Hans, talagang hindi natin in-expect yung mga nangyari sa seryeng ito.
Boys, right there at the Isle of Glory, you may now take your bow. Again, your defending champions, ONIC Philippines, really showcasing what they can do dito mismo sa ating laban.
Yan talaga ang nakita natin sa day no number 1, Hans. At talaga namang sobrang nakaka-excite, nakakagulat lahat ng mga pangyayari.
Well, I'm sure that our casters will have to say a lot about that recent matchup. Kaya naman, casters, the floor is all yours.
Thank you again so much, Hans, Odin, and of course, there to ONIC Philippines, the champions, former champions, and now world champions, of course, showcasing that they are going to be a force to be reckoned with once again this season. So great to see, and I like how they mentioned, you know, they're just very calm. Kelra, I feel like he was trying to tie a shoe the whole time. Like, I don't know if he ever accomplished it.
MLBB is intense. I can't count the number of times I've been casting or playing MLBB professionally.
And your shoes.
And then my shoes just come off.
Dude, that's why you just go no shoelaces.
That's right. I'm wearing tussles now.
Just go barefoot.
I'm wearing tassels.
Here's the one guy that loves to go barefoot in the jungle.
I love you, King Kong!
It's King Kong!
Where'd that come from?
Where was that from?
Give
that guy a jersey, man.
All right, 4-1-0 for King Kong. And, well, I think I'm trying to think about why King Kong is the MVP. All right, yeah, he did get that Maniac in the end.
Yes.
It was him and Kirk that was able to rush that Lord.
Yeah.
It was him leveling out the goal during some key times.
Tag me in.
Okay.
Because even when they were losing, he was doing something on the map.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about with King Kong and ONIC Philippines. If they know they are taking a losing fight, then you'll find King Kong in another part of the map getting resources from the jungle creeps or a minion wave that's free to push. And interestingly enough, it was King Kong getting picked out by Lord JM after King Kong got a little bit too eager to steal the Litho Wanderer away that led to the domino effect of TNC controlling majority of the game. Because King Kong got picked off, it shut down the sequence ONIC wanted to do, and from there you see the formation of ONIC and their rotation be uncomfortable for them to take. So it was just a long crawl back to being able to turn the game around until they found this moment. King Kong danced around TNC so well, landing a Maniac, surviving that long. At that point, a fully built Suyo in this point of the game can definitely do those things.
That is what makes King Kong a beast. The fact that he respects the scales of power, the food chain at any time in the game, wherein he understands, I can't go hunting like this. I gotta go find scraps elsewhere. I gotta make like a cat right now and hunt in the nighttime, not the day. And then the game just evens it out so that Kelra and Super Friends can get to a point where they can win.
And that whole theme here for this lineup really was this late game. I'm just surprised that it happened the way that it did. Is what is I feel like a majority of people felt like. And even then, that last little iteration, that last little sequence of fighting that before he got the Maniac, the fact that he was able to kind of sidestep and scoot around and do those Suyo things is what made it so special too.
He wishes he was a Joy. But he was a Suyo. It looked like he was trying to go.
Yeah, he was able to do a version of that, not in typical Joy fashion, but definitely harder to pull off if you are
tap or hold.
Suyo. Yeah, exactly.
He was thankful that he could rotate with a charge sever, because you could.
Here's an interesting point of itemization, by the way. Super Friends, we thought he wouldn't build a COD. He still went for the COD. And I think, well, at that point, he wouldn't have gotten a lot of the
stacks,
good stacks on it, but apparently it was enough to help him out, as well as the Blood Wings. I think because it looked like such a good target for TNC. It's like, hey, Kelra's here. Super Friends is here. We get these two down. The Edith and the Suyo won't be able to do much, but since the Sicilian survived for so long, Kelra got to survive for so long, and that whole thing crumbled the moment they realized, wait, the Lord got taken. Let's go to Kirk and let's go get King Kong and Kirk. But wait a minute, we left the Sicilian and the Granger alive. It just turned into a mess for TNC.
The COD makes sense because of TNC's damage profile. The only one who really has any burst is Kozin on the Harith, right? When he starts dashing around. But everyone else deals some level of DOT. So if you have the COD, Sicilian can just stand in front of you like, I have hybrid defense. What now?
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
At that point. And I'm wondering, I don't know if we got a glimpse there too, but like how many stacks? Probably 300 plus, obviously, because at one point I think the last glimpse we got, he was like a 291.
Yeah.
Something like that. So just again, that's kind of what we expected when the Sicilian was in play, but the way that whole thing happened is what makes it so interesting. So I'm sure a lot of people, especially after today, maybe ourselves included, will go back and look at that sequence, look back at how that happened, because even then, Zydo was there next to the Lord. Like, he had the information that they were blitzing it, you know?
And in the interview, Keller mentioned that they were just telling each other, ultra calm, just everyone be ultra calm, and they lost their bananas when they all finally realized, wait, we're actually gonna win this. But yeah, the ultra calm mindset came in big time.
Well, for you guys at home, the Athena Cup is coming soon.
You gals!
This is an exclusive league for female pro players and for the MLBB Women's Invitational, actually.
That's
so
right.
MWI.
The winner qualifies. So the tournament will take place from March 7th to May 27th, so that's about a week from now. Let's all support this growing league that empowers more women to be esports pros. Let's make MLBB esports a place where women can flourish.
I'm excited to see.
We're defending champions.
Yeah, man. We could see Omega Empress back in action.
Yeah.
Omega Empress back in action. The other iterations, of course, the other women's teams that have been waiting in the wings. That, well, from what I've heard from the women's team, after the win of Omega Empress against Team Vitality in the MWI 2024, a lot of them were like, wait, we can do it.
Inspirational.
Yeah, very inspirational. Again, Team Vitality has, you could say, they have regained their crown 100% as the strongest female team in the world, but we're going to be walking to MWI as the defending champs, and I think a lot of Filipinas out there are going to be wanting to defend that for the motherland.
So that is from when I was, is that 3 weeks? It's about 3 weeks, May 7 to 27 or so?
More than.
More than.
Yeah.
That's,
it runs as a league.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, so tune in for that. Join if you guys can, and let's see who is going to end up representing the Philippines in the future for MWI. So
How
that's
crazy
great.
would it be if it wasn't Empress?
Yeah, that'll be wild. Exactly. That just goes again to the storyline of like Empress at the bar, and there are a bunch of other women now who are ready to surpass that.
Empress ended a 3-year dynasty. Whoever beats him will be more than worthy of, flying out to MWA.
Yeah. Definitely. Because that's something that I feel like those more opportunities for the women's players out there for MLBB is definitely something that's continuing to grow, and it's always great to see more people participate for that. So I hope you guys enjoyed our opening day here for MPL Philippines Season 15. Again, it's us, the Wee Bear Bros, me, Naisu, Leo, and Renmar. We're going to throw it over to the stage to close out the day. We'll see you back tomorrow.
Unang laban pa lamang or unang araw pa lamang ng panibagong yugto ay may nakita na tayong mga laban na talagang inabangan ng sambayan ng Pilipino. Odin, what a day it has been.
We've seen a lot of exciting events na nangyari sa Day 1 ng MPL Philippines Season 15. Aurora shining bright with that 2-0 sweep, and ONIC Philippines marching their way in with that comeback win to close out the day, Hans.
And the best part about it, nagsisimula pa lamang tayo. Kaya kita-kits bukas dito lamang sa MPL Philippines Season 15. My name is Hans Galeria.
And I'm your very own Odin.
Na nagpapaalala sa inyo na walang makakatumbas sa lakas ng Pinas. See you guys tomorrow!
The 15th season of MPL Philippines is brought to you by the following sponsors. Infinix, the MPL official gaming phone. Lakas sa laro with Infinix. Smart, the official telco partner of MPL Philippines. Our partner in esports, Time Zone. Join the fun at Time Zone. TT Racing, for those who dream, work, and play. TT Racing has your back. Don't miss any MPL action by following our official Facebook and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Follow MPLPH on TikTok for more content. Experience the Lakas ng Pinas of MPLPH Season 15 action live at Green Sun Hotel. Grab your tickets now via official MPLPH website. All the regular season tickets are now available at 200 pesos. MPL Philippines is monitored and supervised by the Games and Amusement Board.